Lapp versus Childress. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lapp, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you in your home.
Yes, that's true.
Mr. Childress acknowledges that he came to your home. He said you became confrontational.
Not true at all.
Shh.
Sorry.
Not so sure about it. In any event, what I gather from his answer is, if you got a whooping, you deserved it. That'd be a fair statement, sir.
Well, I'm
Let's
disappointed.
see. Mr. Lapp, according to what I read, you and some friends were hanging out in your house. And I don't know what you were doing and hanging around in your house, whether you were drinking or smoking or doing some drugs or whatever you were doing, but you decided to make some prank calls.
Yes.
On what evening was this, sir?
I believe it was on the evening of the 14th of July.
And you made a prank call, one of those prank calls, to the defendant's home. I assume that it's this young lady who was living in your home with you at the time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And she's a married lady?
2 days.
To this gentleman here,
Yes, Your Honor.
who was then stationed in Iraq. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Ronald McCart.
What is your rank, sir?
I'm a specialist.
When did you get back from Iraq?
December 12th, ma'am.
Okay. So you called the defendant's home, and you got this young lady on the phone. And what is your name?
Allison.
Now, did you know Allison?
Yeah, I did.
What had you been drinking, smoking, or snorting that night, Mr. Lapp?
No snorting or smoking anything other than cigarettes, but we were drinking gin that night.
And who was there?
It was me, my witness Andrew, and my neighbor from across the way, and my girlfriend.
What did you say to Allison when you prank called her, sir?
I
Look
don't
at me.
know. There was a lot of prank phone calls being made, but I mean, I was on one of them. And what I said...
I want to know what was said when you called Allison.
I can't remember exactly, but I did say something to
You
the
don't
effect.
remember. So let's hear Allison. Allison, you remember July 14th?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Who called you?
Mr. Lapp called my cell phone.
How did he have your cell phone number? Do you know?
Brian is a previous boyfriend of mine.
Who's Ryan?
Mr. Lapp.
When did you stop seeing him?
In March.
March of '06?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you meet your husband?
In May.
Okay, so he had your cell phone number. What did he say to you, Allison, when he called?
He said that I hope that they shoot your desert rat boyfriend in the head and that they don't find his body so he can't be buried here.
Not nice.
No, definitely not. Shouldn't have ever even been said, and that was totally unright on my part.
So, Allison, what did you do when you got that message?
I was very upset. A lot of crying.
Did you tell Mr. Childress?
Yes.
Okay. So what'd you do?
I listened to the tape.
Oh, she had it on tape.
There was 16, 17 vulgar, sexually abusive, and just derogatory phone calls over a period of an hour and a half made to the house. Very explicit, very sexually demeaning.
Why, Mr. Lapp?
Like I said, I couldn't tell you why. I wasn't even on any of those phone calls except for that one phone call where I did say what I said about her now husband.
But you gave the phone to
No.
your friends.
No,
or
I
you
didn't.
called the number.
No. Other people have her number other than me. That did not come from me. They all know her.
Did you make phone calls?
Me?
You!
Yeah.
What am I looking at? Who else is there?
Yeah. I made about 2 or 3 myself. But everybody did have her phone number that was there, and they were all using their separate phones.
I didn't ask about anybody else. I asked about you.
Yeah, I made 2 or 3 phone calls.
Stand up. Why?
We just had we just had some against her. I don't know what it was, but we just didn't really like her.
Who cares? I don't like you. I wouldn't call you and say nasty things on your cell phone.
That's fair. We just, we were drinking, and it just...
Because you were acting like idiots, and that's what happens to idiots when they drink.
Yeah.
When they drink, they don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they become confrontational,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Now I'll hear from you.
After listening to this hour and a half of phone calls, I was so disappointed in Ryan. We'd invited him to our house. We've fed him. We've taken care of him. And it just really disappointed me. I couldn't imagine why he would sink so low. And then to talk about a gentleman who's not here, who's serving our country, that gives him the right to say the things that he did.
Yeah, sitting on his porch and drinking gin.
Exactly.
Right.
I thought this couldn't be the Ryan I knew.
So you went over there to see if somebody else creeped into his skin.
Well, my son-in-law lives in the same apartment that Ryan does. And we had an open door policy. They come to our house, we go to their house.
So you went over there.
I went over there and
Look at me, Mr. Childress.
wanted to see what was going on.
So what happened when you got there?
I asked Ryan, I go, do you know who I am? Because he was in bed. I saw that his girlfriend had just left.
So you went into his bedroom?
Yes, which is right next to my son-in-law's bedroom.
How did you get into the house?
The house is open.
Okay.
All
right,
like
do you remember,
Yes.
Mr. Lapp, what happened? Because you were pretty drunk that night, according
Yeah,
to
I
you.
wasn't that drunk in the morning, though.
Oh, so this
Maybe
was
a little
the morning.
hungover. This was a little hungover. Yes, when he assaulted me, it was in the morning.
Go ahead.
I woke up, actually, my girlfriend was leaving the house. Once she had left the house,
Was she there when you were making these calls,
Yes,
these
she
crank
was.
calls?
Yes, she was. She was there for part of the night, then she left and didn't come back.
Was she
later that
making
night.
any of the crank calls?
She was on some of those prank phone calls. What had happened was she had left that morning. He came in after that, and I thought somebody was coming to my bedroom. I thought it was my girlfriend returning because she forgot something.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. He locked the door behind him as he came in. Said, do you know who I am? I said, yeah. He told me to stand up. I stood up. He socked me once in the mouth. I fell to the bed. He continued to hold me down and punch me. I couldn't even move. I mean, he punched me 20, 25 times in the side of my face, in my stomach, all through my neck, my jaw. I have the hospital reports of the cervical strain and the contusions to the head and neck. I was on medication for about 3 weeks, which caused me
Not going to
be
make
able
any more prank phone calls, are you?
No. Prank phone calls are bad. Like I said, it was a stupid mistake, but I don't believe it justifies someone putting their hands on somebody.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many times did you hit him?
Probably between 10 and 12 times.
More than that.
It was a lot more than 10 or 12. You could hear Mark hitting Ryan.
Suck it up.
And later today,
When was the last time your husband worked full-time?
A year and a half, 2 years ago.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous?
It's ridiculous not to work when you have 2 children.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ryan Lapp claims his ex-girlfriend's friend, Mark Childress, entered his home without permission and assaulted him. Mark does not dispute the charge.
Okay, now your version, sir.
I asked Ryan if he knew who I was, because I know he had been drinking the night before, and I asked him what was going on. And immediately he said, I didn't say anything, and flailed his arms up. I took a defensive posture and acted accordingly. I thought he was going to attack me, the way he had been talking on the phone.
I don't buy that, Mr. Children. I don't buy that. You went into his bedroom.
That's correct.
After that, he also proceeded to go out and try to assault him.
I
It's not
assume
like
the
he just
police-
came
I
in there
assume
just
you
to
called
beat
the
me up.
police?
Yes, I called the police right after it happened.
And I
which he
assume the
also threatened
police,
me not to
shh,
do.
quiet.
Okay.
And I assume the police came, and I assume you played them the recordings,
Yes, Your Honor.
and they did nothing.
They failed to press charges against either one of us.
Correct. Do you work, Mr. Lapp?
Yes, I do.
Who do you work for?
Work for Fry's Electronics in Sacramento.
How long have you worked for them?
I've worked there about 4 months now.
You have medical insurance?
No, I do not.
Have you paid any of these bills?
No, I have not. I don't have the funds to do so.
You have $2,099 in medical bills.
Yes.
You have any photographs of your injuries?
I did on a cell phone that's broken now, so there's no way to get those.
How many times did you hit him, Mr. Childress?
Probably between 10 and 12 times.
More than that. Way more.
Like, I was in the living room when this all happened because, like, you have, like, where I slept in the apartment, you have to walk past me to get to his room. And when he walked in there, he locked the door, and I heard a lot of, beating and screaming, him telling him to get off. But there was a lot more hits. You could hear Mark hitting Ryan. It was a lot more than 10 or 12.
Mr. Lapp, on a sympathy scale of 1 to 10, maybe you're a -1. You understand that? To me. You too. Because the pain that you can cause somebody as a result of making crank phone calls to them, and prank phone calls, especially the kind that you did with regard to this young man who was very far away from home and whose life was on the line, so that you two idiots could sit on your porch and drink gin. The things that you said about him are outrageous. And while I understand Mr. Childress's anger at you, the law doesn't give him the right to go over to your home and to assault you. There's no question that the police were so outraged at the phone calls that they winked at the assault. But quite frankly, I can't. You are responsible for his medical bills. Now, then, the only thing that I have to make a judgment about is whether you are also responsible for his pain and suffering, because his medical bills are $2,000. He wants $5,000. That he's not getting. Because there is emotional injury and there is physical injury. And you suffered physical injury as a result of this assault. Did this young lady sue you for emotional injury?
She did not.
You think that one can be as dramatic as the other?
Yeah.
Well, so the swollen face, the black and blue, whatever, suck it up. But Mr. Childress is going to pay your medical bills. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's
Thank
all.
you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wanted to find out what he was trying to do by tormenting this young 18-year-old girl.
It scared me. It definitely scared me. Like, I mean, that's why I said I had pain and suffering, because I couldn't sleep correctly for a couple days after that.
It was just totally immature and unfair for what they did.
Oh, I won't be making prank phone calls. I mean, you live and learn.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Carson versus Harris. Step forward, please.
Mitchell Carson is suing the mother of his child, Michelle Harris, and her husband, Todd Harris, for the return of attorney fees for a failed adoption.
Mr. Carson, you and Mrs. Harris have a child together. How
Correct,
old
ma'am.
is that child?
He's 8 years old, ma'am.
Did you ever live with him?
No.
This is your claim. The mother of your child, Miss Harris, is married to Mr. Harris. They've been married for how long?
3 years, Your Honor.
Do you have any children other than this child?
Yes, 2.
Your former girlfriend, you weren't married,
No.
is that right? And you spoke about the possibility of her husband adopting your son. And you thought about it for a while. Ultimately, you agreed that that might be a good idea. And you went ahead and hired a lawyer.
She hired the lawyer. She has to petition the lawyer.
You paid for the lawyer?
I did, because they said that they couldn't afford it.
She subsequently changed her mind
Correct.
about the adoption, and you want that money back.
Correct.
Why did you change your mind about the adoption?
We never did change our mind, Your Honor. We simply moved out of the area. I had been searching for work for a good 4 years and couldn't find anything but maybe temp work or part-time. We couldn't afford to take care of our children, so we started looking elsewhere for work, and Oregon had a great rate of employment, higher wages, lower cost of living, so we decided to move there and then pursue the adoption when we got settled.
Mr. Carson, when was the last time you saw your son?
I believe it was about 3 years ago.
Why?
We just had such a lack of communication together, and she lived about 100 miles away, and it just made it real difficult for us to communicate together. And that was probably a lot of my fault, because I should have remained involved.
Okay.
But that's why the end result was the adoption.
Mr. Carson, when was the last time you supported your son?
I pay child support every month.
How much do you pay?
I pay $400 a month.
Is he up to date in his child support?
I think he's a little bit behind, but not much.
I believe him when he says he pays child support. So you're not able to use this lawyer?
Correct. What it ended up happening was I paid for the attorney, and then they sent me some documents, which I signed. It was just simple, one form that I had to sign to my release of interest, or whatever you'd like to call it.
Termination of parental rights.
Correct. And then it was on her. And about 6 months later or so, I contacted her attorney, and her attorney had said at that point she hadn't spoken with her, had no contact with her at all, and actually at that moment said, you know, I don't even think she's going to do this. Which is fine. If she doesn't want to do the adoption, I mean, I'm completely capable and okay with paying child support, you know, till he's 18 years old. But when she came to me with the idea of doing the adoption and I agreed to it, I thought in good faith, when she said they couldn't afford it, that I paid for it, that they would go through with it. And then I called her and asked her why she wasn't doing it. It was at that point that she said it was because, you know, financially they couldn't do it.
So they needed your child support to help support the household?
Sure. Correct. And also at that point, I had contacted Michelle to find out what was going on, and then she told me she was moving. According to our document, she has to give me 30 days written notice of moving. I had no idea she was going to move until I contacted her to ask her what was happening.
Well, that may be written into your contract. However, since you haven't seen your son in 3 years, it really doesn't make much difference. Mr. Harris, are you working now?
No, not at the present time. I'm
Are you working now?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
For whom?
I work for a company that deals with clinical technology services for
How much
a
do you
hospital.
earn?
$15.25 an hour, and I support all 5 of us. off of
No,
that.
you don't support all 5 of you. He helps support all 5 of you. When was the last time your husband worked full-time?
I
And
would
where?
say it was for a landscaping company in Olympia, and it was a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I'm not sure of the exact date.
Well, she says it's a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's
Why-
ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous?
It's ridiculous not to work when you have 2 children. When did you move?
We moved in March of '06.
So you moved from, just a minute, so you moved from one place where he can't get a job for a year to another place, and now he's still not working. Doesn't that
no,
clue?
that's not exactly correct. I worked for a company in Portland as a steam cleaner. I did that for 2.5 months. I also worked doing mill shutdowns for a temporary job. It's not like I haven't worked.
So I'm glad you're working. I'm glad everything is wonderful with you. the strong probability exists that they're not going to let you off the hook so fast.
Ma'am, can I add something, please?
Yeah.
The reason why they told me why he's having a hard time finding work and why they couldn't do the adoption is because when they moved to Portland, Michelle told me that he had a warrant out for his arrest. She told me that's what kept us from going into court. Her attorney told me that when they moved to
Just
Portland...
a second. Well, that's very easy to
Am I in
figure
jail?
out. Shh. Turn around. What was the warrant for, Miss Harris? I
had
didn't
an
speak
old
to you.
parole
I didn't speak to you. I said, what was the warrant for, Mrs. Harris?
His warrant was for parole violation from 1996.
When did you know about his parole violation?
We didn't know about it until we moved to Oregon. However, we discussed past legal issues with the attorney, and she said that that shouldn't make a difference. Also, just to clarify, we had no agreement with him to pay him back.
Well, but no, just a second. But you had an agreement to pursue the adoption.
Correct.
That's your agreement.
I didn't.
And
You wanted my
no,
son.
just Mr. Carson. Shh, Mr. Carson.
Sorry, ma'am.
I'm just saying, Your Honor, at no time had I talked to Mitch about the adoption.
Then you can sit down. Because you're not working anyway. She's working. She'll pay. Sit down. Sit down. You had an agreement with him that in exchange for giving up his parental rights, your husband would assume the parental responsibility, which includes support. And what happened was it became very secondary in your mind with all the other trouble that you have. You have now 3 children in your house. You're working at $15 an hour. Not great. But you can't do that. If he's giving you the money to pay for the lawyer, which he did, because you agreed to pursue this matter and then change your mind, in my mind, you've breached an agreement with him.
We never made an agreement to...
Just a second. That's why you're here.
We never said we wouldn't do the adoption, Your Honor. Circumstances
Then when you...
stopped it.
Listen to me. When you move back to the jurisdiction where he can use the lawyer that he paid for, you could sue him for the money. Right now, you're going to pay for the lawyer. How much was it?
The total amount that we ended up paying the attorney was $1,062, ma'am.
We weren't living off of his child support. We honestly wanted to do the adoption.
Well,
and
listen
when we
to me,
moved,
Miss Harris. You've been married once?
Twice. This is my second marriage.
You weren't married to him so that you had, I would consider, 3 relationships. 2 marriages, 1 relationship. Is that fair? You have 3 children?
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 34.
The likelihood of this man celebrating your 25th wedding anniversary is 0. So that, as far as I'm concerned, it would be very unwise for him to adopt this child. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,062.
Thank you, Your
That's
Honor.
all.
Yeah, this is case number 329 on the calendar in the matter of Desi versus Moskovich.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Desi, you have a daughter.
We do.
And what is her name?
Sarah.
And Sarah is your friend.
Yes.
According to the complaint that I read, you maintain horses at your home, and Sarah invited you to come over and ride horses. According to you, you asked Sarah if you could bring a couple of friends. She said, sure. You arrived with 2 friends. According to the plaintiffs, they agreed to allow you to ride as guests 2 horses and a mule. They say that they said, listen, just walk the horses, don't run them. You were out with your 2 friends, and one of your friends fell off the horse and broke an ankle. Mr. and Mrs. Desi, for some reason that they will explain to me, paid the medical bills for this young woman. And Mr. and Mrs. Desi now feel, since you brought these 2 other people with you, and since you were in some way negligent, you should be responsible for the medical bill that they paid. Is that pretty much the case?
Yes.
Well, that's sort of an interesting scenario, Mr. and Mrs. Desi. Are you attorneys?
We are.
That's what Mr. Moskovich says in his answer. So let's try to figure out, since you are both attorneys, under what theory do you believe the defendant is responsible for this young woman's medical bills?
We believe he's responsible because he repeatedly promised to walk the horse that he would be riding as the lead horse, and instead he ran the horse and admitted.
How do you know that, sir? Were you there?
No, not only did we hear from a neighbor.
Listen, Mr. Desi, you're a lawyer, so you know that you can't tell me what you heard from a neighbor, because that's all hearsay. He acknowledges that he picked up the pace, didn't run the horses, but that you picked up the pace. He's not responsible for what this other young woman does.
The mule that the other young woman was on simply followed Michael when he started trotting his horse.
Mr. Desi, how do you know that, sir?
Because that's what Michael and the lady who got hurt, Darren, told us.
Well, where's the lady who got hurt?
She's right here.
Stand up. You're Darren.
Yes.
Fine. You promised that you wouldn't run the horses.
Yes, but can I say...
Just a second. Okay. Did you run the horses?
No.
The horses were not running?
They were trotting.
Trotting. Okay. So, that's what they say.
Well, and trotting is actually worse than running. Anybody who's ever been on a horse knows that trotting creates a very, very bumpy type ride, especially when you're trotting on a road instead of on softer dirt.
Mr. Desi, you told me that when you turned over the horses to Mr. Moskowitz, he said to you that he would not run the horse. He says he did not run the horse. He said he trotted the horse. Now, you were riding the mule?
Yeah, it's actually it looks like a big, beautiful brown horse.
But it's a mule?
It's called a mule, yes.
Okay, and how fast were you going?
I would say we were walking for about 15 minutes, and then the minute the horse started to pick up pace, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if the definition
Which horse?
is trot. My horse, the horse, or actually there were 3 horses. Our friend Araj was riding the first horse, who was leading. Then it was Mikey, and then it was me in the back. And we were walking for about 15 minutes, and then the minute the horse started to pick up pace, not run. I am not an avid horseback rider. I'm afraid of it. There's no way I'm going to run. Like that, I guess. And the minute that started to happen, I slipped to the side, fell off the horse, broke my left wrist, actually.
Wrist?
3 places.
Well, just a second. Miss Sandler, you fell off the horse.
Yes.
Why would you think that Mr. and Mrs. Desi would be responsible for your medical bills?
Because I believe the saddle was not saddled correctly.
Well, did you tell them that?
Yes.
And what did they say when you told them that it wasn't saddled correctly?
Well, I called Mr. Desi to talk to him about the possibility of maybe going through homeowner's insurance, and he had told me that he would pay my medical bills, that he did not want me calling his home because he did not want his wife to know, and that he did not want to go through homeowner's insurance. He'd rather just pay it himself.
Did she tell you that the horse appeared to be saddled, Mr. Desi?
No, she did not.
Well, if she didn't claim to you that the saddle had been misapplied, because I don't ride horses, then as a lawyer, why would you want to pay her medical bills when you bore no responsibility? She assumes the risk that she's riding a horse. She's a novice. She understands she's a novice. If she falls off the horse, that's her problem, not yours.
Only because I was threatened with a lawsuit because her uncle is an attorney.
Just a second. What did she claim when she threatened you with a lawsuit, Mr. Desi?
That if I didn't pay her medical bills, I was going to be sued.
Just a second. So you say, why would I be responsible for your medical bills? And are you trying to tell me, sir, that she didn't say to you because the saddle wasn't on right?
I heard from Michael that she was claiming the saddle had slipped on the horse. She never told me, but Michael did.
So that you were aware that that was the claim that she was making?
Yes.
Well, after the fact, not at that stage.
At what stage?
Months later, when we heard from her father after Michael did not pay the bills that he had promised.
Michael is under no obligation whatsoever to pay the bills. Absolutely none.
He promised to do that, though.
I don't know. Did he promise you?
Yes, he did.
Oh, well, tell me about that.
He promised Ron heard him first, and then when I was
just a second.
feeding them
Listen
dinner.
to me. Hey, when did he promise to pay you the bills?
He promised in my presence to Darren to pay the bills to Darren.
So when did you decide to assume that responsibility?
When we got threatened with a lawsuit. The alternative was to turn it into our insurance company, who would have raised our premiums or canceled us, regardless of whether we were right or wrong.
Mr. Moskowitz is not responsible for these medical bills. And if you assume the responsibility of paying for them because you chose not to turn the matter into your homeowners, that's your problem. You, through your daughter, invited these people onto your property. You have no direct proof that they did anything untoward in riding these horses. You would bear no responsibility unless there was something that happened that was your fault. If, for instance, you missaddled a horse that caused the blanket to slip, that caused her to fall off, that would have been your responsibility. And perhaps that's the reason why you decided not to put the matter to your homeowner's insurance. I don't know, but certainly Mr. Moskowitz isn't responsible at all. You're lawyers. You have to have a theory of a case if you're lawyers.
We believe he broke his promise to us to walk the horses. Trotting is not walking.
You have no proof of that, Mr.
Your Honor,
Desi.
We do.
He admitted it.
And he went 9/10 of a mile in 5 minutes. Now, you tell me he was walking those horses. He was not. He was running the horses. The horses were perfectly saddled. There was no indication that a saddle was askew. When I got to
I do not believe, madam, for 1 second that this young lady, who was not a horse person, was running a horse.
She wasn't running the horse. Her mule simply followed Michael, who decided not to walk his horse.
I don't believe her horse was running.
Trotting then.
Listen, Miss Desi, I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out when does a trot become a run.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
he had told me that he was separated from his wife, and I didn't find out till months later that the day he got my phone number, he went home and moved out and left his wife.
That still doesn't tell me why you let him move in 2 days after you met him.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald and Fawn Desi claim their daughter's former friend, Michael Moskovich, owes for medical bills they paid on behalf of his friend.
He said to you, I will not run the horses. I don't believe he ran the horses. You have no proof that he ran the horses.
He said
you have no case. Period. You know you have no case. You can talk from today until tomorrow. You're two lawyers. You're trained people. Give me a theory.
Negligence.
Negligence. The only negligence that I've heard is that the saddle was misapplied. That's the only negligence.
That's not the only evidence. You've heard me say I got to the animals were perfectly saddled. I have been saddling animals for 35 years.
Perfect. Then let us assume, Miss Desi, that the saddle was perfectly applied. And the reason she fell off the horse was because she was not a good horse person. And she fell off the horse and broke her ankle. That happens through nobody's fault. She fell off the horse. He's not responsible for that. You are not responsible for that. If you chose to assume that responsibility, you cannot visit it on the defendant. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Actually, I was in the middle, and there was a guy in front of me, and she was in the back. So I don't know why they're coming after me when they could have gone after the guy who was actually leading.
I chose to be a good person and just let them pay my medical bills. And I think that they're horrible people for going after this one.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Null versus Dietz. Step forward.
Deborah Null is suing former live-in boyfriend, Adam Dietz, for unpaid rent and bills. Deborah says Adam moved in 2 days after they met.
Ms. Null, the defendant was a boyfriend of yours for a brief period of time. You met him, according to your complaint, while he was separated from his then-pregnant wife. According to your complaint, you met him, he moved into your home shortly thereafter. You had an agreement with him that he would pay for half of the bills, half the rent on the house, because the house belongs to your mother, and half of the credit card bill that you were using because it was just more convenient. You claim that he moved out months later without paying his obligations. Mr. Dietz says that he acknowledges that he owes you a month's rent, $400. Doesn't owe you any other money. He says he was prohibited from staying at the house after March of this year. So, when did you meet him? What date?
January 12th.
Where?
At a bar.
And when did he move in?
January 14th.
Foolish, right?
Yes.
Foolish.
Very.
Shh. Why did you let him move in 2 days after you met him?
Well, he had told me that he was separated from his wife, and I didn't find out till months later that the day he got my phone number, he went home and moved out and left his wife. I thought he'd been separated for like a long amount of time.
What difference is that? That's not my question. I don't care if he was...
Okay, well, he had told me that he was staying at his father's house, which was an hour and a half away from his work, and I lived close to his work.
That still doesn't tell me why you let him move in 2 days after you met him.
Because I really liked him.
What?
After the initial night, I tried to leave multiple times. She threw a fit. She's been over my dad's house.
Mr. Dietz, why don't you be quiet for me?
All right.
Because the statement that you just made to me is ridiculous.
No,
yeah,
it is not,
ridiculous.
Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm telling you it's ridiculous. And I assume you don't want to appear ridiculous. Because while I don't understand why she would allow you to move in 2 days after she met you, I can understand why you would move in because...
I can go into details, Your Honor.
I'm going to allow you to go into details, sir. It's something that I'm looking forward to with a great deal of expectation. Because I know that you have this peculiar dumb look on your face, you know, this dumb grin on your face. You know, you're not quite sure how things are going to go. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to be a smart aleck, things are not going to go well. Because she may have found you attractive enough to allow you to move into her home 2 days after she met you. I guarantee you one thing, sir. I do not. You're not my type.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's better. Now we understand each other, Mr. Dietz. Now, he moved in January 14th, and according to your complaint, you made an arrangement with him at some point to pay some rent.
Yes.
When was that?
It was February 15th.
Okay, so he lived there for a month, rent-free, expense-free.
Yes.
And when did you have this agreement with him?
Well, what had happened was he had bought me diamond earrings for Valentine's Day, and he gave me a card and asked me to marry him. So I figured if we were going to get married, then he should have to start paying rent. I'd been divorced for 3 years, hadn't really had a boyfriend, so I know I ran into it way too fast. I realized that, and I just fell in love very quickly.
Okay, so fell in love, but were practical enough to have him sign an agreement to pay you half the rent?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because my ex-husband, when we had got divorced, I was left with all the bills from him. We'd been married for over 10 years, and I wasn't going to go through all that again.
Okay, can I see the agreement that he signed? Okay, so Joanne Bird is your mother?
Correct.
She gave you a credit card?
Yes.
And you had a card made for him?
No, when we would go to the grocery store or anything that was bought for the house, we had agreed to split whatever was bought for the house, groceries and stuff.
Did you use the credit card for anything else?
We did buy some clothes, but other than that...
No, not we, you.
No.
You didn't use the card to buy clothes?
Yeah, I bought clothes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You, personally.
Yes.
Well, he's not responsible for that.
Well, he had clothes on there, too.
Oh, well, I'm not getting involved with the credit card bill, madam. Understand that.
Yes.
You know, I didn't do 15 years of post-high school to go through a credit card bill line by line. If you were foolish enough to buy stuff on a credit card for him, that's your problem.
Okay.
How much rent did you pay your mother for the house?
I usually would give her $200 a week, and that would be including utilities and stuff. Because it's
so
all in
your
her name.
agreement, Mr. Dietz, was to give her $400 a month for the rent?
My agreement was to help out, Your Honor, and nonetheless, I was the only one working. She had worked at her last job.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm looking at your answer, Mr. Dietz. You say, I do agree I owe her about $400 for 1 month's worth of rent and bills.
I never signed that piece of paper, Your Honor.
Talk
we may
to
have had a verbal agreement.
Just a
but that is
second.
it.
I'm looking at this piece of paper, sir. You did sign this piece of paper, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's what I'm reading from. It says, I
an
do agree.
agreement.
I'm speaking. I do agree I owe her about $400 for 1 month's worth of rent and bills. You signed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about this.
Okay. Yep, that's exactly true.
What month do you owe her for, sir?
I believe that would be February.
You lost your job in March?
I collected unemployment, which was still $430 a week.
Well, now you're not helping yourself, but whatever it is, if you want to tell me that, that's fine, because according to Ms. Null, you said that because you were not working, she agreed to let things go until you got a job, until you could pay her back. But now you tell me you had the money. What month did you move out of the house?
It would have been court-ordered that we no longer be together because of accusations made by her ex-husband.
Could you just give me the month, sir?
Middle-March.
Mid-March.
Mid-March.
Okay. Now, Ms. Null, he says he was no longer living there on a full-time basis after mid-March because your former husband alleged that he had abused your child while on either custody or visitation period with you, and he could no longer be in the house.
Correct.
When was that?
That was in March, but when he was not staying at my house, Mr. Dietz was staying at my mother's house.
So what?
So he was still staying in my mother's house or my house.
Well, that's not where he had the agreement to pay rent, in your mother's house.
Well, when the custody was over, Mr. Dietz came back.
When was that?
I believe the beginning of June.
And when did he leave permanently?
August 12th.
Did you come back in June full-time, sir?
I don't believe I ever came back full-time, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Null, when was the last time he gave you money?
He gave me money sporadically, and I never wrote it down. It was very...
So you don't know how much money he gave you?
I think he gave me approximately $500 for the whole entire time he lived with me.
Miss, no, that is not what you do in court, madam. Because this arrangement didn't work out and because he went back with his wife, you can't come to court and say, well, he gave me money sporadically. You have what you allege to be a contract.
Yes.
So that what you have to do is when he gives you money, you have to write it down, memorialize it, give him a receipt, write it down exactly how much you get so you know how much his debt is. You can't come in here and say to me, well, I think he gave me $500 while we were together in February, which is the day you say he signed this. And March he left, but then he came back in June. Now, He says he owes a month's rent. That's what he says. And you don't know how much he owes you.
Well, this is exactly what happened. We were supposed to get married August 12th or 11th. And when we got married, we were going to claim our taxes together, and that's what he had told my mother he was going to pay her back with, was his tax check.
You didn't get married. You didn't get a joint tax check. And you have no idea of how much he actually owes you. So what do you want me to do?
Okay.
Listen, you make bad judgments and sometimes bad things happen, madam. You made a very bad judgment. You don't meet somebody in a bar and allow him to move in 12 hours later into your home.
I realize that.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400, which is the amount that the defendant acknowledges that he owes you. That's all. Step out.
Why does that excuse, sir? Wait here.
I was in love.
Now, this is case number 331 on the calendar in the matter of Morris versus Moreland. Parties have been, you're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Morris, this used to be your fiancé.
Yep.
Yes would be appropriate.
Yes.
According to your complaint, he wanted to buy some rings. You went to a jewelry store. You picked out 2 rings. He had lousy credit. You were dumb enough to put it on your credit.
Yes.
The engagement didn't last. The marriage didn't go through. He gave you back his ring. So you have both rings now. You tried to return them. You couldn't because they had already been sized. You're stuck with the rings and also stuck paying for them.
Yes.
You want him to do it because that's what he said he was going to
Yes.
do. Mr. Moreland says he gave you your ring because you promised to marry him. You didn't marry him. Therefore, you pay for the ring. All right, well, let's get to it. Can I see the rings, please, Bert? Who are these people?
This is my sister and my brother-in-law here.
They have anything to do with this case other than here to show you moral support?
They do.
Oh, good. Okay. So one is clearly an engagement ring.
Yes.
This is an engagement ring, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. This is a wedding band, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, tell me how it came about that you purchased these rings.
Do I start from the beginning, or the ring part?
I want. When did you meet? When did you fall in love?
Okay, we met in May 05.
I mean, I don't. You don't want to know about that? You met. You fell in love. Perfect. Good.
Okay, gotcha.
Wonderful. Now, tell me about the day you went to the jewelry store.
September or something. I don't know the exact date. I have the receipts and stuff. Good. But we went there. I asked him a million times. I said, "Are you sure?" Because he does not have credit at all, and I know this. But he had a job.
Tell me.
Sorry.
Tell me what you know. Don't
Okay,
tell
what do
me
you
what
want?
he had. Just tell me you went to the jewelry
Yes, we
store
did.
and...
We went to the jewelry store. He said, pick anything that I wanted. So I picked the ring that I wanted. He said that he would pay for it. I put it on my credit because I have the good credit. And there you go.
Oh, just a second. Whose idea was it to go to the jewelry store?
Both of ours.
What do you mean, both of
We
yours?
agreed in the car that we would both go together and pick out my ring.
Okay. And when did he give you the ring?
That day. He put it on my finger that day.
When did he ask you to marry him?
Well, we had discussed it in the car going up there, and then that day he proposed to me that day.
Anything precipitated?
What does precipitated mean?
Anything come before that? You know, I mean, was there any discussion of marriage? You were in a car.
We had talked about it forever. We met May 05. We liked each other, and we fell in love,
All right.
and yeah.
So this is an engagement ring?
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you put the ring on her finger, right?
No, I
Tell
did
me-
not.
Well, tell me how it happened, sir.
She got kicked out of her parents' house. And,
You're in a car going to the jewelry store.
Okay, we were in a car going to the jewelry store. She brought up the idea of marriage. She's the one that...
Just a second. What did she say to you, and what did you say to her?
She was
No,
like...
listen to me. Listen to me. If you tell the truth, I'm going to say something to you, and I want you to think about it and just remember what I'm saying. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Yeah.
If you lie, you have to have a very good memory, because you won't find anybody that can trip you up faster than me. So I want you to remember that. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You're in the car. Go.
We're in the car. She brought up the idea of marriage.
Good.
And
Sometimes a girl has to do that if a guy is not moving fast enough.
yeah, she
What did you say?
I was like, yeah, I just kind of went with it, you know.
No. Mr. Moreland. Mr. Moreland.
It's the truth.
I don't want to hear you just about whether you just decided to go along with it. She brought up the concept of marriage. What did she say? What were her words?
I don't remember her exact words that day.
What do you think about us getting married?
Yeah, and I said, you know, I at the time I loved her, so I'm not going to
Oh,
say
there
no.
you go. So you loved her,
Yeah,
and so you wanted to get married.
yeah,
Okay. Now, whose idea was it to go and look for rings?
hers.
Tell me what she said.
She wanted to stop by the jewelry store and look at a ring. And
And
pick
what
it
did
out.
you say?
I said, okay.
Great. Now we're cruising.
Yeah.
So you went to the jewelry store, and what did you do once you got into the jewelry? Take your hands out of your pockets. What did you do once you got into the jewelry store, Mr. Moreland?
She selected a ring that she liked.
Just a second. You didn't stand there like a dummy, did you?
I stood there while she selected a
No,
ring.
you didn't stand there like a dummy. You said something. You walked in, somebody came over and said, may I help you?
Yeah.
And did you tell them what you were looking for?
She didn't.
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say, just a second. You didn't say anything.
I did not.
I don't buy that, sir. What do you do for a living?
I'm a carpet cleaner.
You worked steadily?
Yes.
Do you have to sometimes go in and you say, why don't you do 3 rooms? We have a special today, 3 rooms instead of 1 room. We could do 3 rooms for this one. You ever say that?
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. Not in your vocation, but I had people say it to me. So you're a salesman, sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So you didn't go in there and stand there like a dummy. You at least communicated in some respect with either her or the salesman.
I did.
Perfect. So what did you say?
Well, I don't remember my exact words of the evening or the afternoon, but I went up there. The lady asked, "Can she help us?" And I said yes. And then Mrs. Morris took it from there. And
Well, did you give her a budget? Did you say, listen, there is a particular budget, or don't look for something in 5 carats. We're not talking about spending $100,000 here. This is about what I can spend. Did you give her any sort of parameters?
no, everything was her idea.
Put your hand down. You weren't there, were you?
She called me after.
You weren't there, were you?
No, ma'am.
Good.
Everything was her idea.
Right, that's sometimes the way it happens, sir. Some of the best marriages start out with that.
Yes.
I remember saying to my husband, opening up a calendar and looking at him, he was dragging his tail. I looked at him and I said to him, pick a date. There's the calendar, pick a date. And he did. And he would say, I just went along with the drill. And look how happy he is 30 years later. But pick a date.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can tell you exactly how this ended.
Make sure it's nice.
It's as nice as I can make it, but this is her character that I'm going to tell you about.
And later today,
You called him. He responded to your home within 24 hours. And my question to you is, why didn't you make good on the check for 1 month? He didn't want it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 24-year-old Alicia Morris is suing her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old William Moreland, for the cost of 2 engagement rings. William claims the engagement was Alicia's idea.
Now let's talk about this ring, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is a wedding band. See,
Yeah.
I know that. And this is a male wedding band. Tell me how you got this.
She bought it for me. She went to the jewelry store.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time. Like 2 days later.
And did you go with her to have it sized?
Yeah.
She didn't take your arm off and take your finger over to the jewelry store without you being there, did she?
She did not.
So you went there. And what happened when you went there? You said, I want to get this sized for me?
Yeah.
Right?
I had it sized.
When did this great romance end?
Like a couple weeks later.
How come?
Our same problems resurfaced.
Okay.
I can tell you exactly how this ended.
Go ahead.
She,
Make sure it's nice.
it is nice. It's as nice as I can make it, but this is her character that I'm going to tell you about. We went to visit my mom. She criticized me in front of my mother, and one time my mom defended me, and she cursed in front of my mom and cursed my mom and me out and left alone. And we've been broken up ever since. That's how we broke up.
Okay. Not a lovely thing. But let me explain to you what the rules are with regard to engagement rings, sir. The rules with engagement rings are that a man buys an engagement ring for a woman in anticipation of getting married. And you are absolutely right that she broke the engagement, but it really doesn't make any difference because the contract is broken. There is no marriage. So you get the ring back. This is your ring. You get it back. Because usually the man pays for the engagement ring. And I absolutely believe her when she says that you said, pick out whatever you want and I'll pay for it. She wasn't intending to buy her own engagement ring. She was intending for you to buy the engagement ring out of your work as a carpet cleaner. Because you do work. It'd be different if you didn't work, but you work. And we're not talking about the Hope Diamond here. It's very, very nice. Cost $730, something like that, right? She thoroughly anticipated that you were going to purchase this for her and pay the bill when it came. So she stuck with the bill. And the bill for your ring is how much?
$769.33.
Let's round it off to $770. Now, this is something entirely different, madam. This you bought for him.
Yes, I did.
I hope the next guy has the same ring size.
Me too.
Would you give this
We're
back
working
to her,
on it.
please?
We're working on it.
Would you give this back to her, please?
Thank you.
And Mr. Moreland, being engaged means, and if you buy a ring, means you buy the ring. She doesn't buy a ring for herself. That would be different if you didn't go with her to the store, if you didn't communicate with the salesperson, if she went out and said, honey, I picked out a ring for myself. Do you love it? I really love it. This is what I want to get married. Here's the ring I picked out for myself. Different. But you went to the jewelry store together. You went there looking for a ring. She said to you, do you like it? This is what I like. Do you like it? You said, yes, I like it. If you like it, I'm happy. I love you. That's what you said. You said, I loved her, right?
At the time I bought it, I did not say I paid for it.
Oh, no, I don't believe that. I believe that you said to her, you use your credit, but you'll pay for it. There is not a question in my mind that the agreement between the two of you was that she was not going to pay for her own engagement ring.
Found out after the fact, but that day it was impulsive.
I don't care whether it was that day or the next day. There is no question in my mind that you agreed to pay for this engagement ring, whether it was that day or the next day or 2 days later. Yes, what?
That day, literally, she was really stressed out. She was like, we're going to Disneyland. And then they didn't end up going. She called me and she was like, we're getting engaged. Here are the rings. It was really impulsive. It was, and he loves her. So it was more of like.
I went with the flow.
So what? Are you married?
No, ma'am.
Ever been?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get engaged?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a ring?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he buy the ring?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he pay for the ring?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what happens. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $770. That's all.
Ma'am.
Goodbye. Oh, you have a harassment
Counterclaim for
counterclaim?
harassment. I'd like
It's
to get
nonsense. For harassment, if you paid her for the ring, she would stop harassing you.
Parties are excused when they step out.
She's crazy.
He owes me the money, and that's all I'm going to say.
She needs help that I can't give her.
I'm happy that it's over.
I'm done. It's over.
That's the bottom line, and I won. Thank you very much.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Niwega versus Downer. Step forward, please.
Tanya Niwega is suing air conditioning technician Chad Downer for trespassing on her property and disabling her air conditioner.
All right. Interesting case. Ms. Niwega, according to what I read in your complaint, you live in a home with your children. It was very, very hot, and your air conditioner broke. You called the defendant. He came out. He fixed your air conditioner, and you gave him a bad check. Check bounced that you gave him. According to the defendant, he tried to resolve the issue over a period of time, got no satisfaction. He came to your residence. He took back the part that he had put in to fix your air conditioner, and now you had no air conditioning again. You're suing him because you say that he had absolutely no right to come out and vandalize your air conditioner and for trespassing on your property. So far, am I about right?
Something to that effect.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. Mr. Downer says that you gave him a bad check. He tried to resolve it over a period of time. He got very frustrated. And he did go to your house.
Yes.
And he did remove the part that he had put in to originally fix your air conditioner. He's counterclaiming because he says he made 2 visits to your house and he hasn't been paid for anything. Right?
If he made 2 visits to my house, he didn't talk to me. I was not there.
Just a second.
Okay.
On what date, Ms. Niwega, did you call him?
Probably someday in June.
No, I need the date.
I don't know the date.
Well, you have the bill.
Well, this is the day he came out, and I'm sure this is not the date that I called him. So he came out on
what
June
date
21st.
did he? On what date did he come out?
June 21st.
Do you know, Mr. Downer, when she called you?
It was probably the day before or else that day. I'm pretty prompt when I get a call.
And how hot was it in June?
It was hot.
So you were inconvenienced because you had no air conditioning. How many children do you have?
2.
So he came out and fixed the air conditioner, and you gave him a check. For how much?
$189.
You deposited the check?
Yes.
Came back insufficient funds?
Yes.
And when did it come back to you, Mr. Downer?
Approximately a week later.
So say the 28th of June.
Yes.
Okay. What efforts did you try to make to get your money?
I called several times, and each time I called, she apologized and said she was sending a certified check. The check was in the mail.
How many times did you call? Do you have any indication?
Like three times.
Over what period of time?
I gave her each time approximately 1 week for the check to show up, and we don't live that far away. It'd take probably 2 days for the check to show up. The check never came.
You called her immediately when the check bounced.
Oh, definitely.
Did you volunteer to come over and get the cash from her?
I don't believe so. She just said she was sending a check.
On what date did you decide to take matters into your own hands?
It was the Monday before I actually went over there. I called and said, you need to call me. I'm going to come over and take the part off this week. if you don't call me. She never contacted me until the night before and said...
Night before you were scheduled to go, you told her you were going
right,
out.
Yeah, and she had left a voicemail message. I didn't get it because it was long hours at that time, and said that it's okay to come over and take the part back.
You have that voice message?
I don't. It got bumped off. I have a letter from her saying that it's okay to come over and take the part.
I'd like to see the letter.
I underlined it right here.
Thank you. Do you have any idea the date that you went out there, sir?
I believe it was about 1 month later. It was a Friday. I think it was almost exactly 1 month later.
You know when he came out to remove the part?
The 21st.
No, that's when he came to put in the part.
Yeah, the
when
next
did he
month.
come?
No,
The
the
7/21.
on 7/21 he came
7/21. Well, why between June 21st and July 21st didn't you get him his money?
His whole little story is all misconstrued.
I know.
Back and
I
forth,
don't listen to
back
me.
and forth. We were calling on the phone.
I'm not interested in back and forth, Ms. Nuega. I'm interested in why, for 1 month, you called him. He responded to your home within 24 hours. He fixed your air conditioner. He had no trouble with the air conditioner that he fixed. He charged you a nominal amount of money to come out. And my question to you is, why didn't you make good on the check for 1 month?
I had a new baby. That was an oversight on my part. I did go get him a money order to make good on the check.
But you didn't give it to him.
He didn't want it.
Don't tell me he didn't want it. You mean he didn't want to get paid?
No, he didn't, because I have the money order right here that I
don't
got
care
for
about
him.
the money order that
And
you
he
have.
told me, no, this is what he told me. He said, 1, he said he never came to my house. 2, when he did come over there, he fixed the air conditioner. Then he called me. No, he didn't call me. The lady called me about his check.
Just a second. It says, by the way, the letter does not give you permission to come on her property. That's your interpretation. It says, she said to you, I sent you a message back requesting you to contact me before making access to my property. But the beginning of the letter says, this letter is to inform you that no one from your company is allowed to come on my property.
That was after that I'd already been there.
Right,
Right,
I got it.
when he said he
I
never
got
was
it.
there.
I got it. But she never gave you permission to come
She
on the
actually
property.
did in the voicemail.
Just a second. Well, that's hearsay, madam. If you had saved it and I could have authenticated it, that might have been another story. But other than that, it's hearsay. Ms. Nuega, I'm not going to spend any more time on this case. You're entitled to nothing. I'm giving you nothing because, quite frankly, he's not allowed to trespass on your property to remove something that he had put in. What he's supposed to do is use the court system to do that. He's supposed to sue you for the bad check. I can certainly understand his frustration when you blew him off for a whole month. For that, you don't get rewarded. You don't get rewarded giving somebody a bad check for work that they perform, for coming out to your home, and for then telling me that you had a baby and that you had a whole bunch of bills.
Well, I got a money order.
Don't listen to me, Ms. Nuega. You're speaking when I am.
Okay.
That's the reason you gave him a bad check, because you didn't have any money, and you may not have had money for a month.
No, it was an oversight on my part. It was an oversight on my part, and I do accept that. But when I got him a money order for the amount of the check plus $25 for his bounce check fee, I covered my debt to him.
Just a second. You never got it to him.
He didn't want it. He came over there, wanted to be some mafia thug and jump all on my roof and take my air conditioner off.
Ms. Nuega, let me tell you something. Stop making excuses. You did the wrong thing. You gave him a bad check, and so did he. And he's not going to get paid because he did the wrong thing. You're not allowed on her property. And I don't believe that she said to you, come on, take out whatever part you like and come on my property, because that's not the way she's doing business. So she started out with an air conditioner that doesn't work. She still has an air conditioner that doesn't work.
Somebody fixed it. It works.
And if she had it fixed again, I hope she gave the person who fixed it a good check.
And I gave him
Your
cash.
cases gave him cash? Good. Everybody should get cash from you, Ms. Nuega. That's
This is case number 212 on the calendar in the matter of Bro versus Alvarado. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
According to your complaint, Ms. Bro, you and your boyfriend and the defendant were in a local bowling alley. According to you, the defendant liked your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was an altercation. According to you, the defendant assaulted you by smashing a beer bottle across your face, causing several teeth to be broken, and requiring a substantial amount of dental work.
Okay.
You're suing not only for the dental work, but also for your pain and suffering and lost wages. The defendant said you started it, right?
No, she started it, Your Honor.
That's just what I said.
I know.
Pay careful attention. So, when was this?
August 22nd.
Of this year?
Of this year.
And what time did this incident occur with the bottle?
About 12:15.
When did you first see the defendant in the bowling alley?
Not until after I returned from the restroom. Ryan was at the bar purchasing a beer, and he was agitated.
At what time?
About 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And I went to the bar to see what he was yelling at somebody, and there she was. I asked her, you know, are we going to have Are we going to have problems every time we see each other? You know, can you grow up? You're 33 years old. And she proceeded to walk away, and we got our beers. We walked over to our table where our friend was, and there she was bad-mouthing me.
Just a second. What was she saying?
She said that she's going to get me and this isn't over. And, you know, I walked up to her. I'm like, can't you understand? You know, we just had a confrontation at the bar. You walked away. She proceeded to push me. I pushed her back, and then she hit me in the mouth with a beer bottle.
Where was he?
He was still at the bar buying our beer.
Stand up. Tell me your first name.
Ryan.
How old are you, Ryan?
I'm 20.
How do you know the defendant?
From like a general circle of friends, and you know we're cool. And
what does that mean?
I mean,
cool. I don't understand.
I mean, we talk to each other. We never had problems. You know, we're somewhat friends. And then me and Diane started dating.
Did you ever go out with her
no,
socially?
No, ma'am. And me and Diane started dating, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I can be so much better than Diane. You can live at my house rent free. I'll take care of you." And
had you had anything to drink before midnight?
No, ma'am.
Had your girlfriend?
No, ma'am.
Now you were at the bar. Had you finished purchasing those beers when this altercation took place?
Before I could even get them, you know, they were getting into it, and I ran over.
Just a second. While she was in the restroom, did the defendant speak to you?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say to you?
She said, I haven't seen you for a while. What's been going on? And I told her, I was like, this is not the time. I said, Diane's here. You know, things are going to happen if, you know, you're talking to me. We already told you we don't want you in our life, so you need to go. And that's when Diane walked out of the bathroom and seen us and walked up to see what was going on.
And then she had this verbal confrontation with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
After she had the verbal confrontation, where did the defendant go?
She walked towards the exit door where the table was, where my buddy was sitting, and Diane went to walk over there, and as she walked over there, you know, I was still standing at the bar, then all of a sudden I seen security guards run over there. I seen them two going at it, so I ran over there, and...
When you say you saw them going at it, what did you see?
I mean, like, I seen them face to face, and then I seen a struggle. That's all I seen. I didn't see the bottle or anything like that.
Now, can you describe to me your girlfriend's face?
When I seen her, her lip was busted. She's like, look what she did to me. These two teeth were broken, and this one just blood, and you know, and she was acting hysterical.
What do you mean she was acting? What did she say?
And she's like, I can't believe this is going on. I, you know, just kept talking, working it up, and that's when the security guards pulled us off to the side and said, wait for the officer to get here.
What happened when the police arrived?
They took our statements, and then...
Do you have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
I have a police report of the incident that happened at the bar, and also of a phone harassment complaint. After we left the bar, she called and left him 4 voicemails on his pager. We called the officer and had him come back over to my house to listen to the voicemail.
Okay. All right, Miss Alvarado, now let me have your version of the events.
Okay. My friend and my witness, Tanya, was with me. I was upstairs shooting pool, having a good time with my friends, and I was just done with my beer, and Tanya said, can you go down and get some more beer? And I was like, sure. I also have to go to the bathroom. I go downstairs, and I see Ryan off, not in the bar, he was off on the concession stand, standing there, and he turns to me and says, oh, hey, Cecilia, what's up? I never approached him, Your Honor. Okay.
Tell me what happened. Not what you didn't do, what you did do.
Okay. And so then he says, I just want to warn you that Diane is here, and she wants to kick your. And
can I just
I then said, you know, I'm so tired of this, of her approaching me. I'm 33 years old. I have, you know, a good job, and I was harassed at work by her, and Ryan used to call me also at work. He would tell me to call him. Here's my pager, Cecilia. Here's my cell number. Call me. And no, and it's true.
Just talk to me, not to her.
Okay, well, anyway, and you know, I'm really upset about this because I have a good job, and I have the sheriff come.
I heard that you have a good job.
Okay.
You're 33 years old. He's
right.
20.
No, Your Honor, he told me.
Just a second. But you're 33. He's 20.
Your Honor, I was led to believe that he was 22.
22. Okay.
What does the age matter? I was stuck in a situation.
Let's go what happened to 822.
Okay. Well, as I turned around, there's Diane right in my face. And she just says, what the, excuse my language, but she was like, what the, whatever. And I'm like, you know, I don't want any problems with you. I had my beer bottle. I had just a little bit of beer in it. I had it in my hand. And I have a scar, a permanent scar on my arm where she grabbed me, pulled me forward, and goes to hit me with the beer bottle over my head. And in the police report, it doesn't even state that I had also blood and a welt on my head.
It doesn't say that, madam.
Exactly.
It does, no, listen to me. It doesn't say that. If the police who took this report were very clear, Ms. Alvarado, they observed, according to them, a large welt on your hand.
Exactly.
If you had had blood in your scalp and a large welt in your scalp that you pointed out to them, they would have...
I did.
Why don't you let me finish?
Okay, I'm sorry, but...
They would have included that in the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When did you find out he was 20 years old?
Today.
So now you know. You know that he's a baby and you're not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 22-year-old waitress Diane Groh is suing 33-year-old human resource manager Cecilia Alvarado for knocking out her teeth with a beer bottle.
So let's continue.
I stepped back, and it was just self-defense. After I had my hand like this, and her beer bottle hit my hand, I was trying to protect myself. And from just a reaction of, you know, someone attacking you, what are you supposed to do? And I was scared. I just closed my eyes and went like that. I didn't even realize I had hit her that hard, Your Honor. I would never have struck her. I felt bad after the incident. I was crying. Yes, I was hysterical because I was having a good time on a Monday night with my friends. She approached me, Your Honor. This isn't the first time she's, you know, antagonized me. Okay, and those harassment calls, they've harassed me, and they even threatened me as I was leaving, and my witness was with me in the car, and I was holding onto my head because I was crying, shaking. Diane, Ryan, and their friend Jimmy were threatening me, saying, watch your back, look out for yourself.
Were you a witness to the event, a witness to the actual event?
Yes, I was.
Step up. Tell me your name.
My name's Tanya.
Tell me what you observed on the evening of the 22nd of August.
Well, I told Cecilia, you know, for her to go ahead and get some beers because she was going downstairs. So then I went downstairs after she did, and then I'm like,
what?
To go see where she was. She was speaking with Diane, when all of a sudden I just see Diane's arm just strike right down, right on her head, and then I saw her hit her, and I didn't know if it was with a beer bottle or not. I just saw her strike her, and then after that, I just ran towards her, and then, you know, the bouncers and everybody was trying to tear them apart, and then that was it.
You went down to get more beers, right?
I went to go to the restroom also.
Okay, but you already had a beer in your hand. You told me you had a beer in your hand.
It was empty. It was almost empty.
Why don't you let me finish my...
I'm sorry.
statement?
Okay.
You already said that you had a beer and that there was some left in it. Is that correct?
There was some left in it, yes.
Right. What time did you arrive at this bowling alley / pool hall?
We went to eat there first. It was around 7-ish, because we were there eating, and then we went upstairs to shoot pool.
When you were eating, did you have anything of an alcoholic nature to drink?
I had, well, we had a pitcher. That was it. And
A
that
what?
was a pitcher of
A beer?
beer. Yeah.
While you were having dinner?
With food, right.
While you were having dinner. And then you went upstairs to shoot pool?
Right.
And how much did you have to drink when you went upstairs?
It was probably about one beer.
Maybe two?
No, it was just about one beer because we were going downstairs to get more.
All right, now let's get back to you, Miss Bro.
Okay. First of all, she said that Ryan has a cell phone. He's never had a cell phone since we've been together. The concession stand is in the bowling alley, and she says she approached me at the concession stand.
Will you have a couple of things to explain to me, madam?
Excuse
Okay.
me.
Okay? You confronted her, and I'm not excusing if what you allege happened the way you alleged it to happen. I'm not excusing that. But you confronted her twice. Not once, but twice. You sought her out. Initially, you told me you went up to her, got in her face, told her to leave you all alone, and then you followed her again.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You followed her again because you saw her talking to somebody at a table where you were going to be seated. According to you, this was somebody that you had had bad interaction with before. So both of those things weren't too smart. I will also tell you that the police officer, I'm going to get to her in a second, the police officer observed a fresh bruise on her hand. How do you think she got that? A large welt. How do you think she got that?
Maybe from pushing me, or, you know, when she fell back, or, you know, I pushed her back. Maybe her hand hit the table when she fell back. I don't know how she got a welt on her hand, but I didn't even have a beer. That's why Ryan was at the bar.
Just a second. So clearly there was a physical altercation between the two of you before anything happened with bottles, according to you. Is that right?
When we were at the table.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So there was a physical altercation. That must have been a pretty hard shove.
She hit me first. Was I not supposed to defend myself?
Where did she hit you first?
She pushed me in my chest, and I pushed her back.
No, okay, that's a
and-
push.
Okay.
That's not a hit.
Well,
How did she get the welt on her hand?
I'm really not sure how she got the welt on her hand.
You certainly confronted her on both occasions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not smart. Now, my next question to you, Miss Alvarado, is this incident is over and you're hysterical. You're all upset, right?
Right.
So what's the first thing that you do? You go to your phone and you call him.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you
No,
did.
I didn't, ma'am.
Oh, well, according to the police, you did.
They threatened me as I was leaving, and
They may have threatened you. The police say that they listened to the message over the phone
okay.
and heard you say, Ryan, this is Cece. Remember that?
Yeah, I guess.
Why don't you tell her what we did a month ago? Does that sound familiar? My question to you is, after you're so upset and distraught, why do you continue with this by picking up the phone and calling him?
Because I had, Your Honor, this has been going on for like 2 months. He is.
When did you find out he was 20 years old?
Ma'am.
When did you find out he was 20 years old?
Today.
So before today, you thought he was 22?
That is what he told me.
Okay, so before today, you thought he was 22. And he's got a 20-year-old girlfriend.
Well,
And you're 33 years
I
old.
thought she was
Pay
23.
attention. So now you know. You know that he's a baby and you're not. So this terrible thing happened at the bar. Why are you continuing it by calling him on the phone?
I didn't continue calling him on the phone after this incident 4 times.
Are you telling me that this phone call the
But
police?
I was.
Shh. Are you telling me the police are making up this phone
No,
call
I'm
that
not.
they heard?
I'm not.
So you did call him.
But they called me at work also to harass me, and I have
I'm not
proof
talking
of
about
that.
at work. I'm talking about immediately after this incident on the 22nd. You got home and you called him.
I called him, but I didn't call him 4 times.
I didn't say 4 times. Did I
Okay,
say 4
well,
times? They said 4
that's
times. I
what
said
I'm
once.
thinking.
Pay careful attention.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She knew I was 20.
She thought you were 22. To me, there's
Okay.
no difference. You're a baby when you're 20 if you're a boy. You're a baby when you're 22 if you're a boy. And sometimes when you're 52 if you're a boy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diane Bro says her front teeth were knocked out during a fight with Cecilia Alvarado. The women say the fight was over a man.
Why did you call him one time when you got home?
Because I was angry. I was really upset about this whole situation.
Well, right now, you're in a situation where
Exactly.
you caused her substantially more injury than she caused you.
And I was sorry.
You are at the
I'm
police,
sorry
so
for
you
it.
didn't call up and say, I'm sorry. You called up and said, hey, why don't you tell her what we did a month ago and all the other stuff?
Because, Your Honor, I was upset about it because if it wasn't for him leading me on and telling me that their relationship was nothing, then I wouldn't have gone after him. I wouldn't have talked to him.
Let me see the dental reports.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
I've met Cecilia before, like probably a month before Diane became my girlfriend. And, you know, the whole time, you know, she knew I was 20. All my friends know I'm 20. She
Don't tell me
knew-
what she knows.
Okay.
Did you?
And
She thought you were 22. To me, there's
Okay.
no difference. You're a baby when you're 20
Okay.
if you're a boy. You're a baby when you're 22 if you're a boy. And sometimes when you're 52
She called
if
me
you're a boy.
nonstop. She called me at my place of employment. They told me at work that if she continues on calling, they're going to write me up because she called me nonstop.
She's a little fanatic.
Yeah, and she called my house nonstop, paged me nonstop.
Ryan, pay careful attention. She may be a little bit of a nut.
Yes.
We all are.
And I don't know, and I'm not interested in knowing what happened a month before.
Okay.
You know, and she knows. Maybe your girlfriend doesn't know, but you know, and she knows. She should have been smart enough when she figured out how old you were and that you're a baby to back off and find somebody that's more age appropriate. Because there is no difference between 20 and 22. You got to find somebody who's 35 because this is not an appropriate match for you. A 20-year-old doesn't lead on a 33-year-old if they have any brains.
And me and Diane have also told her, you know, together that we don't want nothing to do with her if she's going to continue on like this. You know, me and Diane sat there and told her to leave us alone.
Try Diane and I.
Okay, Diane and I.
I just had to do that.
Sorry,
You understand?
Your Honor.
I understand.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You're supposed to be a mature adult. You're 33 years old.
Your Honor, she hit me over the head. What was I supposed to do?
I don't believe she, listen to me. I don't believe she hit you over the head.
Yes, she...
No, listen to me. I believe she pushed you. I believe you pushed her. I
How
believe
did-
you shoved her. I believe all of those things, but I do not believe that she hit you over the head with a beer bottle and that you had blood in a bump, because if you did, the police would have memorialized that in a very, I'm speaking, don't look pained to me, in a very detailed police report. I believe that. Now, I don't believe that you are blameless. I believe that you were involved with this incident and that you should not have confronted her. Your actual out-of-pocket expenses are $41.82.
I did miss 4 days of work.
Listen to me. Okay. You have to find that you are somewhat responsible for what happened. Because if you had stayed away from her, it wouldn't have happened. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a big boy. If he wants to tell her to stay out of his life, he can do that. If he wanted to be stupid enough a month ago to do whatever he did a month ago that he hasn't shared with you, right? That's something that he's going to have to deal with if he acted like a fool. But you didn't have to go to her twice, especially since she had a lot to drink that night. She got there at 7 o'clock. They had a couple of pitchers of beer, not just one.
No,
they
no.
drank. I'm speaking. I'm not stupid. I've lived a long time. I've lived longer than 33 years. Okay? You got there at 7, and this was 12 o'clock at night. You already had one beer bottle in your hand, right? You were down to get another one, and I assure you that that was not the first one that you consumed while you were upstairs playing pool. And you also consumed beer while you were having dinner, according to you, one pitcher. In any event, you're going to pay for her dental work. She's going to pay for her pain and suffering and for her missed work. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,182. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. In the matter of Dotson versus Lopez Gomez, parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated, ladies. Have seats.
Is this your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dotson, according to what I read in your complaint, you and Mr. Lopez were in a relationship.
Correct.
That relationship terminated.
Correct.
On a date, which you will tell me, you went to the hairdressing shop
Correct.
owned by Miss Gomez.
Yes.
Where Mr. Lopez, her brother, works as a
Correct.
hairdresser.
Correct.
You went there for some reason about a bill or cell phone or something.
And to give him a
And an
letter.
altercation happened when you were there. You claimed that you were injured by Mr. Lopez, who cut you with the scissors in the face, and that when you were taken to the hospital, you were arrested there on assault charges, trespass, etc., on a complaint by both Miss Gomez and Mr. Lopez. So you are suing them both for your medical bills,
Correct.
as well as for the false arrest.
Correct.
And they say that you came in there and caused the disturbance, and the injuries that you sustained were a result of a disturbance that you caused.
Incorrect.
Is that pretty much it? Okay. How long were you and Mr. Lopez in a relationship?
6 months.
And at what point did this relationship terminate?
When he took my truck and said he was going to go home because he had to go home early and go to work, and that he had to go to work the next morning, and instead he took my truck to his ex-boyfriend's house to do crystal.
When was that? That's more information than I needed. I needed a date.
That was okay, like the week before the 24th, so go back a week from the 24th.
When and why did you go to the hair salon?
Because he left his Social Security card and his driver's license and clothes and shoes and CDs at my house. And I called him and I told him I wanted to still be friends. Why don't you come and get your stuff, come over, and let's still be friends. And he said, talk to me, and he said we'd still be friends. And he called me the next day, which he...
He didn't or he did?
He didn't call me the
Did
next...
not call you the next
No, he
day.
said he would and he didn't.
Okay, so he didn't call you back. Go ahead.
So when he didn't call me back the next day, I wrote him a letter, and also I gave him a cell phone bill that he was supposed to pay.
Where did you give him that bill?
I was going to give him the bill at the salon because he couldn't get a cell phone bill in his own name, so he had a cell phone that I had in my name.
So he had a cell phone bill, and what else? That you were going to give him a letter that you wrote to him?
A letter that I wrote to him that I still wanted to be friends.
Okay, so you had a cell phone bill and a letter, and you went to the salon.
And I went to the salon.
What date did you go to the salon?
The 24th of January.
What time?
11:30.
What happened when you got there?
Ursula was there.
Ursula. Who's Ursula? Raise your hand, Ursula.
She's not here.
Ursula's not here.
Ursula was one of the hairdressers. And Ursula, I was just going to drop off the letter and not wait because he was supposed to be there at 11 and it was 11:30 and I had to work at 2 o'clock. So I was just going to leave the letter and Ursula insisted that I stay and wait for Tony. He'd be in at 12 and just wait for him. And then I decided to go sit in my truck and have a cigarette. Well, they drove up in the car and Tony got out. So I finished my cigarette. I went in and sat down and he ignored me and he was already cutting a client's hair. And he said, "How come you didn't call me?" I said, I did call you and your mother hung up on me. After that, I said, "How come you didn't call me?"
And all this time he's cutting somebody's hair?
And he's cutting somebody's hair.
He's having this conversation while he's cutting somebody's hair?
Right.
Hate to be that client.
Uh-huh.
I told him to please go, Your Honor.
I'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then I said, "How come you didn't?" I said, "How come you didn't call me?" And then he says, "You stupid, dumb all." And that's when I got up I got up and I said, "What did you say to me?" And that's when he started cutting me up with his scissors and I started blocking off like this and he cut me here, cut me here, cut me here, cut me here, and blocked me off and blocked me out into the back of the door.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Dotson claims ex-boyfriend Tony Lopez attacked him with a pair of scissors. Dean says Tony then had him thrown in jail.
Can I see the hospital report, please?
And the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And these pictures were taken 5 days afterwards, Your Honor.
Okay.
So that was 5 days after being in jail. And also I was harmed in jail too. Violently harmed in jail while I was incarcerated.
Okay. Do I have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it,
have
please?
And a restraining order.
And me what I asked for.
And Your Honor, I'd like to see that police report because I never got to see it.
Show it to you. Okay. This is a copy of the police report. Mr. Dotson wanted to see it. Listen to me carefully, Mr. Dotson. Both you and Mr. Lopez were present before the judge on the 19th of February of this year. The court made certain findings at that time. And did you have a hearing at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
And after the hearing, the court granted Mr. Lopez a protective order against you, sir, until February 19th, 2004. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. But everything he said on there was false, too. It was false statements. And everything that's in here is false statements, too. This is all. There was no F word said.
Mr. Dotson, I have a few questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you were in treatment for any sort of substance abuse?
I don't do substance abuse. I have a drinking problem.
I know it's a drinking problem, Mr. Dotson. I can tell. Drinking is a substance problem, sir. Alcohol, when abused, is a substance problem. Yeah. On the date when you went to the hair salon, sir, I want you to think very carefully. You went in, he wasn't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You went out to the truck to have a cigarette.
Right.
How much alcohol did you drink in the truck?
I didn't drink any alcohol in the truck. I drank the night before.
What about the morning?
I hadn't drank in the morning.
Did you drink this morning, sir?
No, ma'am. I've been 12 days sober, and I'm going to a psychiatrist right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the paperwork for it.
You take anti-abuse?
I take Depakote every night at 8 o'clock, 1,000 milligrams. But everything that is in this report is false.
Mr.
He's a
Lopez, do
substance
you want to
abuser.
tell me, sir,
Substance abuser.
do you want to tell me, sir, your version of the events of that day in the hair salon, please?
Okay, I came into work and I was working on my customer, Diana.
Now, at the time that you came into work, listen to me very carefully. At the time that you came into work, first you have to go in.
Yeah.
Did you see him inside?
No. He came in maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, and I told him to please leave.
No, he didn't. Ursula told me to come in.
And what happened when you told him to leave?
He came in from behind and put me in a headlock, and I have with my scissors in my hand, I start fighting my way out. Not wanting to scratch him or hurt him, but that's the only thing I had to do.
Ultimately, he left when he saw he was bleeding, according to the police.
I had to push him out the door where a couple of my other customers helped me keep him away from
Who
me
called
while
the police?
Cops showed up. Ursula?
Yeah. I'm going to go back to a prior incident that happened around Christmas time. What happened at Christmas time?
He was just making harassing calls, saying that he would kill me and my family, burn down my house.
That's why he was with me on Christmas, New Year's Day and New Year's Eve at my house eating dinner.
When I tried calling 911, and his niece, Tamara, was there, who just laughed when I called 911.
Because he wasn't hurt, he was drunk. And she was there to testify that I didn't say any of those things. She was there at the time. She lived with us.
Just a second. She was there on January 24th?
Yeah, she went January 24th and went back to the shop and went to the truck and saw that there was no scratches on this young man. And she took the truck to get my truck that was at the salon.
Listen to me.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
police officer saw scratches on his arm.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Did she come to the jail with your mother?
Yeah, she did.
How come you left that out of your story, Mr. Hunter?
I don't know.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Dotson claims ex-boyfriend Tony Lopez attacked him with a pair of scissors. Dean says Tony then had him thrown in jail.
You had no business going over to the shop that day, given the fact that there was already a temporary restraining order.
No, there wasn't. Oh, this was after the fact. No, this came after the fact. The restraining order came after I got out of jail, after 5 days after I was released out of jail. So there was no restraining order on me at the time.
So is what you're telling me, sir, the application for the restraining order was made as a result of this incident? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling them, yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
And that, because it's not really clear here, and that when the judge conducted a hearing on February 19th, it was with regard to this incident.
To the hair topic incident. Not to the Christmas incident. No, yeah, it was to the Christmas incident, but he put this into the Christmas incident, but I didn't receive it till after the day after I got out of jail.
Mr. Dotson, don't have anything to do with him anymore. The court has already determined to grant an order of protection to the defendant based upon a hearing, and I find no reason to disturb that. I don't think that you belonged in the shop that day. I don't know what your sobriety level was like that day. I don't care what Ursula did or did not say to you. You were told to leave the shop when he got in there. I don't know whether you were drinking or not in the... I'm speaking. I don't know whether you were drinking or not in the truck, sir. I could certainly tell, merely by looking at you and watching your demeanor, that you have an alcohol abuse problem. And I'm telling you, Mr. Dotson, that it doesn't sound right to me that you went into your truck to have a cigarette, to wait for him. You waited for him and gave him sufficient time to start working on somebody, and then went inside to the salon. Somebody who has an alcohol abuse problem needs a little bit of courage before they go in to confront somebody, and that's what I believe that you did. Anyway, your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's very confused right now. I'm sure he was drinking, so you can't really believe anything that somebody drinking says.
It's Tony who has the drug and alcohol problem, and I think he's slightly, mildly mentally retarded.
He left about 30 phone calls, voicemails in about a couple hours, and he's just got strong emotional problems.
He's the one that needs help, not me. At least I'm getting help. He's still a doper and a drug addict and an alcoholic.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Harder versus Hunter. Step forward, please.
20-year-old certified nursing assistant Mary Lou Harder is suing her former friend, 19-year-old Sean Hunter, for an unpaid loan for bail. Sean claims the money was supposed to be a friendly gesture.
Ms. Harder, you claim a loan to the defendant for bail.
Yeah.
He was arrested for something he's going to tell me about. Mr. Hunter said that while you did post his bail for him, he never asked you to do it. It was not a loan. It was a gift. That's your defense, sir.
Yes.
What were you in jail for?
Aiding and abetting, which they overcharged it.
Aiding and abetting a what?
Assault.
Is this the first time you were arrested?
Yes, it was.
And what was the charge, sir?
They booked us with kidnapping and robbery.
Who's us?
Me and my 2 co-defendants.
They friends of yours?
Not anymore.
Tell me about the incident.
Well, I was living out in Nampa, Idaho, and I went and hung out with them, and his girlfriend got a call from one of their friends. You want to come to Boise, hang out, and we'll go have fun, go get my grandma's car. We said, okay, sure. So we went to Boise, picked him up. He said, we can't get my grandma's car until my mom leaves. We're like, why? He goes, because my mom can't know I'm taking it. So we asked him, okay, so you want to steal the car for you? He's like, yes. And we told him, no, we're not going to do that. Give us the gas money you promised us, and we're going to go home. And he ended up calling the cops and getting us arrested.
This other so-called friend of yours claimed that you had kidnapped him?
The kid who called us to Boise said that we just, because he had my friend's girlfriend's cell phone and was using it. And we told him, give us the cell phone back so you can go, because we're tired of arguing with you. And he just called the cops and got us arrested.
The charges were subsequently dismissed?
Yeah.
Were they dismissed, or
Yes,
did you
they were.
plead guilty?
I pled guilty to aiding and abetting. Sorry.
Now, how do you know him?
We're friends.
Okay, and when you got arrested, your bail was set at $25,000, $2,500 cash. Is that right?
Yes.
And how much money did you have?
I didn't have any, so I asked her defendant, Mike.
He's not a defendant.
Or
he's a witness.
Her witness, Mike.
You know, you really have to get the players fixed in a court case.
Yeah.
You're the defendant. She's the plaintiff. That's a witness.
Okay.
Court officer.
Judge.
Yes.
Judge. Got it?
Got it.
So you called your friend Mike.
And I asked him to go downtown, talk to all my friends, get money to get me out. The next day, the bondsman came to me, signed me out of jail. Mary Lou's all, guess what? I asked her what. She goes, I bonded you out. And at the time, she never said, you got to pay me back right now.
Just a minute.
Or anything.
Hold on a second. Okay. Step up here. You are Michael.
Yeah.
What did he say when he called you?
He asked me to call his friends, like he said, and try to get some money to bail him out.
Did you get any money?
And no, I didn't.
He has poor friends, or they don't like him, or what?
No, I couldn't get a hold of them. Been tied to their cell phones and everything. I couldn't get a hold of them.
So how did Mary Lou get involved in this?
His mom asked her to help out with the money, and
So his mother asked you to help. Is that right?
Sean, actually, we went over to the jail and saw him, found out what was going on. He asked me if he could borrow some money, and I said yes, I could loan him the money, the $1,250. I couldn't pay the full $2,500, and his mom agreed to pay the rest.
Did she come to jail to see you?
I don't remember asking her to loan
I
me the
didn't
money.
ask you whether you asked her for anything. I said, did she come to the jail with your mother?
Yeah, she did.
How come you left that out of your story, Mr. Hunter?
I don't know.
So it wasn't a total surprise to you. So the next thing you saw was not the plaintiff and your mother, and you didn't know how she got there. She had come to visit you in jail, and you spoke to her, and you spoke to your mother, and I'm sure you were anxious to get out of jail, and I'm sure you said, are you going to be able to bail me out? Does that sound right?
No, I just asked her to ask my friends to keep trying to get a hold of him so I can get out.
Now you remember distinctly.
Yeah.
How much does he owe you?
He owes me a total of $1,328.13.
So why didn't you pay it back?
Because I was out of a job and...
Are you in a job now?
No, I'm not.
Well, how do you support yourself?
My parents are helping me right now.
What do you do all day?
I look for a job and I help a friend with his job.
How long has it been since you've worked, sir?
It's been about a month and a half.
So prior to that, you were working?
Yes.
At what?
I was working at Bogus Basin, but I was trying to pay back the bondsman the rest of the money I owed him.
What about her?
I was gonna pay her back.
There we go. Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,328. Bye.
Parties are coaches. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You're welcome. You may be seated.
Mr. Fisher,
The defendant used to live with your current fiancée.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been living with, her first name is Melissa,
Yes, Your Honor.
for 3 years.
Approximately 3 years, yes, Your
And how old is the child?
5 years old.
You claim that the defendant maliciously and willfully did several things. He first filed charges against you with internal affairs. You are a police officer.
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition to that, he filed for a restraining order against you, causing you to have to hire counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in addition, he filed charges with Child Protective Services alleging that you had either abused and or neglected his daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
All of those charges, according to you, were dismissed.
They were, Your Honor.
And you want to be compensated for all your aggravation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your defense, Mr. Gatchez, is that you had a right to file these charges.
That is correct.
Okay. When was the incident that precipitated the filing of these charges?
Well, Your Honor, for the last 3 years, this man has harassed myself and my fiancée, Melissa. He couldn't get through the courts to get Melissa, so he elected to in turn attack me, Your Honor.
Were there custody proceedings involving the child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right, sir?
That's correct. The judge ordered for us to have the same visitations and the same rights, which is half and half, 50-50. And I got proofs of that.
Let me see what you have. Did you ever sign this stipulation for custody, sir?
Yes, I did.
Because it's not signed here.
Your Honor, it hasn't...
Shh! Melissa signed it. Why haven't you signed it?
I requested these copies from the lawyer, and he still has them.
No. You have this thing here,
Okay.
Mr. Gatchez. This is a letter that was sent to you. It's a stipulation regarding the custody and visitation order that was agreed to after you all went to mediation.
That's right.
And Melissa signed it. It was awaiting, signed it back in December of 1999.
Correct.
It was awaiting your signature so it could be so ordered by the judge. Why did you never sign it?
The reason why, because I remember now that there were some things that they were still not settled, like the taking our kid to counseling. That was one.
Well, what did you do to follow up on it, sir?
I haven't had money. I have been on disability, and I haven't had money to go to court, Your Honor.
I mean, you go through a whole process. A psychologist, mediator spends hours, if not days, discussing the recommendations with you. They come up with a plan that you both agreed to, and it's clearly laid out here. And then in order to resolve the whole matter, forwarded to you is the stipulation for you to sign so this matter can be resolved. Now it's a year, and you haven't done it. That's outrageous.
Okay.
Outrageous. Okay. Let's start out with the Child Protective Services, please. Did you, in fact, sir, file charges against him with Child Protective Services?
Not against Mr. Fisher, or what I called because I wanted him to investigate. I wanted to put a complaint.
So what was the complaint that you put in?
The complaint was about the incident that happened that night, which was Mr. John Fisher, yelling at my daughter, using bad language.
What did he say? Well, your daughter must have told you this, right?
No, that happened
you were
the same
there.
night when I was dropping my daughter off, when the incident happened.
Oh, well, tell me about the incident, sir, that caused you to call in a report to Child Protective Services.
It was more verbal abuse, moral
Tell me
abuse.
about it. What did you tell them? How did you tell them that he abused your daughter?
By him yelling at me in front of her, using bad language, ordering my daughter to get out of my truck, and scaring my daughter, using bad language.
Tell me what he did.
Well, what he did was that that night of the 23rd, he arrived in his truck. He parked in the driveway, and
Of whose house?
his house.
So he came to his house and he parked his truck in his driveway.
Correct. He got out of his truck, came over to me.
What were you doing there?
I was waiting for her mother to arrive from work.
So you were waiting
Yes.
to return her from your custody arrangements?
Correct. Yes. And he approached me. He came over where I was parked at. My daughter was right there with me inside the truck. And he started using profanity. Like,
what did he say?
He said, "No, what's wrong with me?" Okay, and I go, okay. And he ordered my daughter to get out of the truck and to go inside the house. My daughter refused. He told him, he told my daughter twice to get out of the truck. My daughter was scared and she jumped into my arms. And that's what happened.
Don't talk to each other, please. Just look at me.
And he ordered my daughter twice to get out of the truck, okay? And he asked me why the heck I was telling my daughter not to go with them. So I ain't gonna leave my daughter with someone like you in this type of mood that he was in. Cause he did stink. He did stink.
Just a second. Look at me, not him. What happened next?
He told me to get out of the truck, talk man to man. Okay. So what I did, I got out of the truck because I was afraid. I was afraid of my.
So you got out of the truck and what happened?
I got out of the truck and started, using more bad language. Okay. He started telling me that he's a big American guy, that he has a big job, that how come I do not help her mother with money. And he was not making sense that night.
That makes perfect sense to me, sir. You look like a very healthy man to me. Why aren't you working? It says you don't work here. Just a second. Answer my question.
Sure.
You look very strong and very healthy. It says here, in one part of this report that I just read, that it would be very nice for your daughter to spend the time with you because you don't work. Why don't you work?
Because I'm on disability.
What kind of disability are you on?
I got bad knees and I got bad back.
You got bad knees and you got a bad back.
Correct.
You drive a truck?
I'm a delivery driver, correct, Your Honor.
You were a delivery driver. You were driving a truck the time you drove your daughter home, right?
That's right.
Yeah. When was the last time you sent child support for your daughter or supported her?
There had not been any court orders about child support, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'd like to add.
I'll get to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did she get hurt?
Yeah, many times.
Many times,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
What, do you think I was there? It happens.
You're right.
Of course. Think I'm just a good guesser? They don't keep me around here because I'm gorgeous, you know.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deputy Officer John Fisher says his fiance's ex-boyfriend, Jorge Gatches, falsely accused him of child abuse and making threats.
Now, when did you call Child Protective Services?
The same night after I left the scene.
What did you tell them?
I told him I just wanted to get more information, and I wanted to let him know what happened that night, that my daughter was crying and she was scared. My daughter was refusing to stay alone with them, which she had done it many times before, Your Honor.
Now, when did you file a restraining order against him?
A couple days later.
Why?
Because the same night when I was dropping off my daughter, he threatened me with, because he said that he knows the law, he works with the law, and he knows the law much better.
Yes?
That he knows the law much better than me, okay? And
I think you know a little bit about the civil law, at least very well, at least about workman's compensation and disability. You know a little bit about that. You have a lawyer, right? You have a lawyer, right?
Yes, I do.
You hurt yourself. Let me see if I can put this together. I bet you hurt yourself while you were on your job, right?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You think I'm just a good guesser? They don't keep me around here because I'm gorgeous, you know. You hurt yourself on your job. You have a lawsuit pending against your employer?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How long have you had a lawsuit pending against your former employer?
It has been about 2 years and a half.
And you go to see a doctor regularly?
Yes.
You go to a chiropractor, perhaps?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Yes, of course. Could almost write the script, right?
You're good.
Would you prefer to sit down, Mr. Gatches? Is your back bothering you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I know you're fine. So he threatened you that he knows the law better than you. I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Fisher. I think he's got the system pretty well played out.
I think so too, Your Honor.
Right. Okay, now let's get to internal affairs. Did you file a complaint against Mr. Fisher with internal affairs?
Not that I can recall that one.
Okay. Do you have any documentation that
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Gotch... Shh, let me finish the question, Mr. Fisher.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any documentation that Mr. Gotch has filed an independent complaint with regard to the incident of the 23rd of August with the police department?
Yes, Your
Internal
Honor.
Affairs. Can I see it,
A
please?
letter from Internal Affairs.
Bottom line is that they, in effect, decided not to pursue any of these complaints because, according to this letter that was sent to you, sir, while you may find Deputy Fisher's conduct objectionable, your complaint does not describe any unlawful conduct. So clearly, you did send a letter of complaint to the Sheriff's Internal Affairs Division, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's what I asked you before. I don't understand why this verbal confrontation took place at the beginning, sir. Mr. Gotches, if you got to the house and Melissa wasn't home, instead of sitting outside and waiting for her, why didn't you just either go to your house, take Melissa out for a soda, come back when she was there? Why did you sit there and wait for her?
That night, my daughter, it was the second time that she didn't want to stay alone with them. Plus, you know, he's sick.
Wait, stay alone with whom?
Excuse me?
Stay alone with whom?
With Mr. Fisher. She refuses to stay alone with him.
Well, that's not true, sir. I guarantee
Your
you, sir, they've been living together for almost 3 years, and I guarantee you there are times when your daughter stays home with Mr. Fisher. Without Melissa. Nowhere in this psychiatric and psychological report and the mediation report does it suggest that Mr. Fisher is an inappropriate custodian. It doesn't say that.
Okay.
You live with a child who's 5 years old. Sometimes you're going to raise your voice, right?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Fisher has never used any corporal punishment with regard to your child, right?
That's not what my daughter told me one time.
Oh, well, tell me what your daughter told you
That
one
she
time.
got pushed in the bathtub by him, but he came out with a different story, so I left it to that. And also her mother called me saying that it was just an accident that it happened in the bathtub.
Well, does that sometimes happen, Mr. Gotches? An
She may
accident in the
probably
bathtub?
happen.
Shh. Does that sometimes happen, sir?
Yes.
Let me take you back to when your daughter, and you were living with her at the time, was about 1.5 years old. She started to walk. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember her falling?
Yes.
You remember her falling next to a table?
Yes.
Did she get hurt?
Yeah, many times.
Many times,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
What, do you think I was there? You think I had a camera in your living room?
No.
It happens. You think somebody should notify Child Protective Services because you weren't watching her carefully enough?
You're right.
Of course.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He claims poverty, but he runs up attorney bills to thousands of dollars. Where does he get this money? And then he gets in court and he can't even keep his lies straight, Your Honor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Fisher says Jorge Gotches filed false charges against him, causing him to hire a lawyer.
Listen, you may not like him because he's not working, and you know he's full of baloney.
He's a liar. He's so bored with his life, he drives around the block getting dizzy watching our house. He's a thorn in our side, and he's waiting for us to get married so that he can take us to court and use my income so he can sponge off the system some more for child support.
Listen to me, Mr. Fisher.
It's the way he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Fisher, you're angry.
I'm not angry, Your Honor.
No, Mr. Fisher, you're angry. And you may have a right to be angry.
Your Honor.
What?
That night it did happen. Well, he did threaten me with my life. He said that he was going to send me back, deported back to my country because he knows a friend that lives up the street that lives for the INS, that he knows the system much better than I do, and that he is not afraid to take me in pieces.
Okay.
Your Honor, this
because
man
I was afraid of my life, I did try to get legal counsel, and they told me what to do, and that's what I did. That's why I followed all this process, because I felt, danger for my life and for my daughter, not just, physically, but also by my daughter's health, because this man over here is taking medication for tuberculosis, and he can also infect my daughter with it.
If you knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't be talking.
What's the medication that you're taking for?
Listen to me, Bert. I think we should have different positions here. Why don't you go over there?
Sure.
I'm not happy with the fact that the two of you share physical custody of a 5-year-old child and can't at least be civil to each other.
Your Honor, I could be totally civil with this man if he would quit running up attorney bills. He claims poverty, but he runs up attorney bills to thousands of dollars. Where does he get this money? He had enough nerve to call my house and ask Melissa for a loan to pay his attorney bills that he's ran up to $10,000 or $12,000.
Which attorney? For which attorney?
For the one over the custody issue. This man, every time you turn around, we're in court. I personally, myself, have paid around $6,000 in attorney bills because of frivolous motions and stuff like this, restraining orders, and then he gets in court and he can't even keep his lies straight, Your Honor. This man compounds lies so bad he can't even remember the first lie he told.
Okay.
If he was so scared that night, Your Honor,
he wasn't so
why
scared.
did he get, well, that's what he claims in the TRO. Why did he get out of his truck?
Why did you approach me to my truck?
You know,
That's
why
none
did
of
he,
your
if I
business.
had guns and all this other stuff he
You
says,
do.
what?
I don't want you to talk to each other.
The only reason he knows I have guns is because of the line of work I'm in. His daughter has never, ever seen a gun in my house, has never seen me carry a gun. I make it a point not to have guns around.
Listen, I strongly urge you, Mr. Gotches, there is a stipulation here. Melissa signed it. It was waiting for a judge's signature, and there is no reason in the world why you should not sign this thing and put an end to the court works amongst you. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Fisher,
Yes, Your Honor.
you think that you've acted wholly appropriately, listen to me, wholly appropriately on the evening of August 23rd?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you say anything to him about, if you want a nice car like this, why don't you get a job?
No, Your Honor, what was said was, he says, you think you're somebody because you're a cop and you drive a $40,000 truck. And I simply said to him, I'm sorry you drive a piece of... I wake up every morning and go to work. That's why I drive a new truck. That's exactly what I
You can
said.
tell that he was using profanity in front of my daughter. Why does he do that?
He may not be perfect, Mr. Gotches. You're not perfect either. We know that. About a lot of things.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
So everything was dismissed. Did you have to hire an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor, this was my job.
Okay.
They took my gun from me.
They did?
Yes, Your Honor.
For how long?
For 11 days, Your Honor.
And how much did you pay the lawyer that you hired?
I paid him $1,300. On top of that, I had a $196 filing fee.
Okay. Mr. Fisher, malicious prosecution suggests that charges were filed that had absolutely no basis, in fact. Was it malicious? I don't think so. I think it was stupid. Mr. Gotches, I believe that Mr. Fisher should not have any out-of-pocket expenses with regard to your complaint against him, and I'm awarding him $1,496 for the charges that you filed against him, which caused him to have to retain counsel. That's the judgment of the court. That's all. Believe me.
In the matter of Berquist versus Berquist. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Miss Berquist, the defendant is your mother.
Correct.
How old are you?
19.
According to your complaint, you needed some help in purchasing a car.
Correct.
And your mother agreed to help you with the purchase of the car. She was the co-signer?
Correct.
When was that? When did you purchase the car?
December 9th, 1999.
So you were over 18 at that point?
Correct.
And the car is in your name?
It's in me and my mom's name, yes.
Who put down the down payment?
I did.
And how much was the down payment?
I traded in my car that I had. They gave me $1,500 for it, and then I put $200 cash.
So far, is that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much correct.
And then according to what you've written here, your mother took back the car.
Correct.
And you don't have the car anymore.
No, my sister's driving it.
You took back the car and gave it to your other daughter.
She thought that she could make the payments on it, and...
You took back the car and gave it to your other daughter?
Yes.
Okay. When did you do that and why?
Tasha was late with her first payment. She quit her job that she had about 2 days after she'd got the car. And she didn't show me that she was going to be able to make the payment. She got ill. She had to go in for emergency surgery. And she left the keys on the counter in the kitchen when she went to the hospital. I took the keys and had them with me. I went to work, and I worked 10 hours. I'm gone 10 hours of the day. She came when I was at work and took all of her belongings. She lied to her grandmother because she wanted to borrow $25. There was a window broken out of the car already. When I found this out when I got home and she'd moved out, I decided to hide the car over at my brother's. Tyann then said that she thought that, my other daughter, she thought that she could make the payments, and together we made the first one. It was about a month overdue before we could make the first payment.
After a month, you took the car and you gave it to your other daughter. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you have the car now?
Yes, I do.
Are you making the payments on the car?
I'm behind right now.
Well,
How much behind are you?
A month.
And what about the insurance?
I don't have any.
I asked Tyann to, at the very least, put a for sale sign in the window if she's not going to bring it back to me, so that we could try to sell it. You know, because if I...
You're absolutely right. But you can't take her car away without giving her back her down payment. Do you understand? If you took the car after a month, she's out her $1,700.
It didn't go exactly like that.
Okay.
Tasha, I tried to communicate with her if she was going to be able to make the payment on ours. She'd started a new job, and then she'd gotten sick. And I didn't know if she'd made any money. She was working at the car lot that she actually bought the car from. She did not communicate that with me at all. That weekend, she showed up at her work with her paycheck, flaunting it. She never came to me and said, Mom, I've got the money, or anything. I was just protecting my interests.
Where is the car now? You have it.
She's got it. Won't
Are
give it
you
back.
living with your sister?
Yeah.
I know.
Just a second. Oh, this is very easy. You have a job now?
Not right now, no.
Well, how could you make the payments if you don't have a job?
The reason I don't have a job is because I'm going to Colorado at the end of this month, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, so I can't really start a new job and then just leave. So I was going to get a job once I came back.
Well, who's supposed to make the car payments?
My sister, she's been making them, and...
How many car payments did you make altogether?
2 of them.
You made 2, and you've had the car since when?
The end of February.
And I made the rest.
I'm going to resolve this case very easily. She doesn't have a job, so she can't make the car payments, right?
Right, well, I can get the money. That's not a problem to do it.
Where are you going to get the money from?
As
From
my
her?
boyfriend? No, my boyfriend.
What?
I was
Yeah.
willing to make the car payment for her.
As a matter of fact,
and she made the car payment on my other car.
So that I could use, so I had a car to drive. I was making it
You're
on
the
his.
boyfriend?
Yes.
Right.
You're the boyfriend. Fine. So you have good credit?
It got bad in October. That's a whole nother issue.
Okay. I'm going to resolve this for your mother because your mother did a very, very foolish thing.
Yes.
Well,
Because she co-signed for you. The car is titled in your name. The car is titled in her name. The loan, they would come after her, clearly, in the event that the car, right?
no, I actually talked to them, asked them if I could get off the loan and everything, and I said, now as far as coming after the payment, they said they're going to come after me first.
Yeah, but you don't
And
have
then-
any money, so then they're going to come after
Right.
your mother.
Everything
Okay.
is in my name only. I mean, she is on it, but
I have
everything.
papers that show that I
Doesn't
signed
make
and
any
everything.
difference. Let's say that you co-signed for the loan, so they come after you and they say, give us our money, and you say, I don't have any.
No, I could get the money. That's not a problem. I'm getting a job at the end of the month. I had all the money to pay for this
Fine,
car.
so this is your boyfriend, you're driving his car,
right.
right?
And I've been paying on that car.
But you didn't make the first payment.
Right, because I didn't have a chance to. I got real sick.
Here, I understand that. The bank doesn't care whether you
Oh,
have
I
a
know.
chance to.
I know.
Ms. Berquist, the bank doesn't care.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't have a car, you don't have a car, and you don't have a loan because you don't have money and you don't have a job and you got the loan. Do you understand?
And later today,
You paid the bills in November,
Yes.
in October,
Yes.
in December. So you decided to stick it to him for January.
That would sum it up very well, Judge.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tasha Berquist says her mother, Melody Berquist, illegally repossessed her car.
Miss Berquist, this is what we're going to do. You're going to give the car back to your mother. Today! You are going to sell the car.
Thank you.
If you don't get enough from the sale of the car to cover the loan, okay, you can come back.
Okay.
That way, you don't have a car, you don't have a car, and you don't have a loan, because you don't have money, and you don't have a job, and you got the loan. Do you understand? So the car is to be turned over to your mother today. You got it?
I got it.
You understand? You sell it.
I will. That was my plan.
Perfect. That's all. Thank
Well,
you.
he's not excused. You may step out.
Where do I go? This way. I'm not pleased, of course. I didn't even get to get all my stuff.
I feel bad. I love my kids, you know, that's why I did it.
And now the next case.
All parties on Graham versus Graham. Step forward, please.
47-year-old contractor Brian Graham is suing his ex-wife, 47-year-old registered nurse Cheryl Graham, for unpaid bills and the deposit on a car. Cheryl is countersuing for pain and suffering and harassment.
Mr. Graham, you and the defendant were married for 12 years, according to your complaint. Are you currently divorced, or are you still married, legally
We
married?
are divorced.
Okay, and what year was your divorce?
It was final about 2 months ago.
When did you separate?
September/October 1999.
And you got an order for spousal support, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you say, Mr. Graham, that you had an arrangement with your now former wife that she would be responsible for certain bills. And when she did not pay those bills, you deducted that, because you paid the bills, from the spousal support.
That is correct.
And then you went back to court, and the judge told you that since it was an order for spousal support, you could not deduct the amounts that you claimed, because judges don't like it when anybody else fools around with their orders.
That would sum it up very well, Judge.
Right. So the judge told you that if you felt you had a claim against her, you could sue her in civil court.
That is correct.
Therefore, you're here. Now, you see what I managed to glean out of these 5 pages of papers that you wrote?
You're so good.
The only thing that was not clear to me, Mr. Graham, is what specific items you are claiming you had an agreement over with your former wife. So first, let me ask a couple of basic questions. What was the order for spousal support?
The order that I was to pay after paying for the car would be a cash payment of $330.20 per month, plus an amount for making up on a cash out for the house.
And that was on or about September of 1999.
The order began as of March 1st of this year, 2000.
So there was no order prior to March 1st?
That is correct.
Is that right?
According to the settlement, it was February 12th when I moved out is when he was to start paying support.
Can I see that, please? Did you both have attorneys?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Don't know the magic words of keeping it simple. Husband shall pay to the wife, as before, spousal support, $625 a month, commencing on the day that the wife moves out of the residence. She's supposed to vacate the residence March 1st, 2000. Did you move out of the residence on March 1st, 2000?
I moved out on February 12th.
Okay. Did you make payments of spousal support, sir?
No, I did not.
Why?
We had a Dodge that was coming up to the end of its lease in December. I knew that a car would be needed for transporting the children and
these were
Cheryl.
your children?
Yes, correct.
These were your children that he raised over the 12 years with you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I agreed that when that lease was up, I would purchase the car. And I said, but I don't have the down payment. That's when she agreed to pay $800 toward the down payment of that car and the auto insurance. Those would be deducted from the spousal support.
Okay, so you made a car payment of $800 and the auto insurance payment of how much?
$227.66 for that period of time, Your Honor. This is the written agreement that Cheryl gave me prior to that time, saying that she would pay $800 plus the auto insurance out of the spousal support or settlement order. We have more. The next item is the utility bills. Now, I moved out of the house in October of 1999, leaving Cheryl and the children staying in the house. Through the time we actually signed our final agreement, our final settlement agreement, Cheryl did pay all the bills. It seems, though, that on the day we signed that agreement, all payments of those bills stopped, and that was early in January. And then when she moved out, I moved back in, and I started getting bills that had not been paid, bills that were delinquent. They included the telephone bill, the gas and electric, water and sewer. The cable bill had not been paid. So that makes up a total of $778.26.
Did you pay those bills?
No.
Tell me why.
He did not move out of the house. And my daughter and neighbor know that he was there daily. He was there every morning to take my son to school. He came and worked in the house. He works for himself. A lot of the tools are in the garage. He was there daily working on projects for jobs. He used the shower. He used the house. All he did was go spend the night with someone else.
He was sleeping elsewhere.
Right.
And you did, in fact, Miss Graham, pay the bills prior to January.
Yes.
You paid the bills in November?
Yes.
In October?
Yes.
In December?
Yes.
Was he showering, picking your son up from school, using his tools in October?
Yes.
In November?
Yes.
In December?
Yes.
So you decided to stick it to him for January?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was a wonderful father for 12 years. Someone does not just become an ogre, but he has gone from, we'll make this a civil divorce, to I'm out for blood.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Graham says his ex-wife Cheryl Graham owes him for unpaid bills and a car deposit.
Okay. Let's hear you.
In August, before he told me that he wanted a divorce, we had discussed how we were going to handle bills and saving money for future and that type of thing. And I had agreed then to pay the bills. And I continued paying it until it occurred to me that we didn't have a future, and my contributing towards his future didn't make any sense.
No, but you and your children were living in the house.
So was he.
No, he wasn't living there. He was doing the same thing that he was doing in September, October, November, and December. The fact that you decided to change the rules, because that's what you said. You had agreed with him that you would pay the utility bills while you were there.
That was before he asked for a divorce.
You had said to him, I'll pay the utility bills while I'm here.
No, I don't believe that's what I said.
But that's what you did.
Can I make a comment here?
Sure.
I got the order for him to pay me all the arrears, and he was to pay me down on May 16th. He did not do that. 3 days later, he went and he filed this suit for just about the same amount. Several days after that, he canceled my car insurance. And when we did the settlement agreement, I didn't go after half of the business that I could have, because I was trying to keep it as a semi-civil thing, since there were kids involved and we'd known each other for 30 years.
Ms. Gray, you clearly had an arrangement with him that you were going to take over and pay for the utility bills while you were there, and you just decided in January, because you were going to be moving out in February, the hell with him, let him deal with that when he moves back in, which is really what you said to yourself. Sir, you understand now that you cannot resort to self-help in modifying a judicial order. I'm sure that the judge made that abundantly clear to you.
There is no doubt in my mind, Your Honor, that was inappropriate behavior.
Okay, so you can't do that. I gather, Mrs. Graham, that since you said you've known each other for 30 years, you did have a marriage in between because you have 2 children. It appears to me, at least, that Mr. Graham has been a reasonable and concerned step-parent to your children.
He was until August, yes.
Do your children have a relationship with their father?
He died.
He died.
Before Brian and I got married.
So that what the children know is this person as their parental figure.
Right. And that's not how he is behaving.
Well, there are always bad feelings when there is a divorce. I'm sure that there are hurt feelings on both sides. You know, it doesn't sound like a total cad to me. I mean, he did in fact say to you, you keep the car because you're going to need the car to get the kids. You just said to me that he would come back to the house to drive your son to school.
He was maintaining an illusion that he was living at the house. He had to come back to get his clothes. He had no clothes there.
That doesn't require him taking your son to school.
Like you said, he'd treated him as a son for 12 years.
Well, that's a nice thing. That's a good thing. That says to me that he's not an ogre. You're her daughter?
Yes.
It's just very unfortunate that when a marriage breaks up, there are such bad feelings. You know, I mean, if he was a good person for 12 years, he doesn't all of a sudden become a monster. Just remember this. There are always 2 sides to a story.
May I say something, please?
Sure.
I have requested from my mother that I be shown any documents in the way of letters or court papers that she has in which Brian has sent to her. And you said, yes, he was a wonderful father for 12 years. Someone does not just become an ogre. But it has appeared to me that he has gone from, we'll make this a civil divorce, to I'm out for blood.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay. The first thing is loving parents do not share with their children the particulars of a settlement agreement, and I don't care whether you're 14 or 12 or 6. It's an inappropriate thing to share with a child details of financial arrangements. And right now you no longer even enjoy the legal relationship of stepfather, step-parent with Mr. Graham. That's unfortunate. What about your brother?
My brother at the moment is living with Brian at the house.
So your brother is living with the plaintiff?
Right.
How old is Brian?
My brother is William.
How old is William?
18.
What is William doing?
In fact, he's graduating high school tomorrow, I hope.
He is.
Okay. And you see your son regularly?
Yes.
But you don't visit?
No, I don't visit with Brian by my own choice.
Okay, well, that's your choice. That's unfortunate. In any event, I am entering a judgment for $2,171 in favor of the plaintiff.
Can
That's
I
all.
get you to order him to follow the settlement agreement where he was going to be keeping the car on the insurance and taking the insurance payments out of the spousal support?
I don't understand, Mrs. Graham, why you wouldn't want to have total control over your own money. Now, if what you're saying is that instead of giving you the money, he should deduct it and pay it himself, that seems to me to be foolhardy. Put a period and end it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Good. That's
He
all.
won't go
Thank
for
you, Your
it.
Honor.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. McGowan, it is your claim that the defendant, who either owns or works in a beauty salon, straightened your hair, and he did so in an unprofessional manner, causing your hair to fall out and become dry, et cetera, et cetera. And in addition, you claim that he was unprofessional in the way he spoke to you during the course of his hair treatment. You want him to compensate you for all that you went through in the amount of $5,000. Mr. Kasabian says that he performed a service for you. He did so in a professional manner. And as a good businessman, when you came in and complained, he gave you a partial refund, but he certainly doesn't owe you any more. That's your defense.
That's right.
Okay. What kind of process were you putting on your hair, Miss McGowan?
Well, I actually went in to have my hair, it's called Japanese hair straightening. And I went in.
Had you ever had this Japanese hair straightening before?
No.
What prompted you to do it?
I had a curly hair, so I wanted to just kind of save time getting ready in the morning because I have a small child. So that's why I wanted to do this process.
How did you find the defendant's salon?
Well, actually, where I live, that's where his salon is. And then I actually went to post office and I saw this huge sign. It's a Japanese hair straightening. And I haven't seen that particular sign anywhere. So I assumed that he knows what he's doing.
So you went into his shop based upon the sign and based upon the fact that he was conveniently located?
Correct.
All right. Go ahead. Tell me what happened.
And I went in and I saw Mr. Caspian and I asked him how much it would cost for have this process done, and he said it's about $300. I said, but that is a little bit over my budget, and he says, well, I'm not busy right now, so I would do it for you for $250. And I said, do you have time now? And he said, yes. I said, that's fine. And then immediately, you know, I was sat on a chair, and then his assistant, Barry, started putting chemical on my hair. And then she proceeded to tell me, well, it's going to be kind of uncomfortable, this process. I said, how's that? She says, well, you have to go through a process of putting, you know, put you under hot steaming cap, and then we have to rinse your hair with a very cold water. I said, okay. And she says, you have to go through this process at least 3 times. At this time, I was like really afraid, but I had chemical in my hair, so I sat there and I endured. And then after she was done with everything, she proceeded to tell me, well, your hair is like really uneven because now that you have your hair straightened. And then Mr. Caspian came over and he proceeded to cut my hair, and then I was wearing a cap, you know, one of those robes they give you when you're going through the hair processing thing. And then I noticed that my chest was kind of showing, and then he was looking through the mirror. And I immediately, as soon as I realized that, I covered myself. And then he proceeded to ask me whether I was married. And I said yes. And then he says, oh, I hear you have an accent. Where are you from? And I said, well, I'm Persian. And then he says, well, I hear the Middle Eastern women, they're really good in bed. And they cook and they clean and bring home money and they give really good service to their husband. Do you do that for your husband? And I was like really shocked by this time, and I tried to keep my composure. I was so upset at this time.
Why didn't you just tell him it's none of his business?
Well, Your Honor, as a child, I was sexually assaulted. And then this whole situation, when you're sexually assaulted by anyone, when you're a child, the whole thing came up for me. And I was very upset at that time. I was actually retrieving. I was thinking, okay, this is not happening to me as a grown woman. And I was very upset. And then he proceeded to tell his assistant, pointing at this one woman, and he says, oh, she's very pretty. And then he pointed at her butt, and he said that I'd like to have some of that. And then I was just so shocked. And meanwhile, I'm like totally seeing my hair is just, you know, I'm so upset about my hair, and this whole thing is happening. And then I asked his assistant, I said, is he married? And she proceeded to tell me yes. I said, and he goes, well, he also has a kid. I said, does that make you uncomfortable? He makes comments like that. And she proceeded to tell me, well, you just get used to it. And then they also told me that I have to buy some products in order to have the special, you know.
All right, so far, listen to me, Ms. McGowan. So far, I don't hear lawsuit, madam. I hear you didn't have a nice experience, but I don't hear lawsuit.
Okay.
So far, what I'm hearing is you went in to get your hair processed. You'd never had this process before. You didn't ask enough questions. When they straightened your hair, it was uneven because certainly curly hair is cut differently than straight hair. So he cut your hair. And while he was cutting your hair, if I believe everything that you say, he acted like an idiot. He said things that were inappropriate. Okay? Inappropriate doesn't equate to lawsuit.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Inappropriate translates to, he says stupid things.
Right.
You know, you're married. Do you cook? Do you clean? Do you service your husband? I hear women from where you are do that. It's, you know, if I believe you, and he's going to tell me it didn't happen, I'm sure, right?
Exactly, it did not happen.
Okay, but if I believe you, madam, that's not a lawsuit.
Exactly.
So then let's get on to the lawsuit, please.
Okay. When I got home, I had a massive headache. I actually had my scalp starting to feel really raw, and I called urgent care. So I went to see a doctor.
Let me see the report from urgent care.
This is the urgent care, and the receipt. They gave me Vicodin. They told me.
Just. Are you showing me something from a psychiatrist?
Well, I'm showing you a couple of things. The very first page is from urgent care. I have a very bad headache, and my scalp was completely raw, and that's why they put me on Vicodin, which I've never taken before.
Okay.
And then after that, I couldn't sleep for 3 consecutive days, and called my primary physician, and he asked me to go to psychotherapist. And that's what you see, is a psychotherapist.
Okay. What else?
And then during this time, I actually went to another beauty salon who they knew how to retrieve my hair, and these are the costs that I have the receipt, and also some of the product that I had to get to.
What was, I don't hear anything wrong with your hair.
My hair is chemically burned, Your Honor.
Are you telling me that less than a month after this treatment, you went to another hair salon and had hair color, highlights, and a deep conditioner?
That's
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Madam, listen to me very carefully. Common sense suggests that if your hair is burned because you've had it straightened or because you've had it curled and have a permanent, and if it's not in good condition, the one thing you don't do is put more chemicals on it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She just walked in, no appointment, nothing.
You're
Listen, Miss
lying.
McGowan, look at me. Don't speak. Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying? And you were testifying for 12 minutes? Listen!
And later today,
I cleaned up everything that was on the tile. The hallway charge is absolutely bogus.
Listen, if you'd got dye on the door in October, it shouldn't have still been there in November.
I understand.
Good.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Naheed McGowan says hair salon owner Manu Kasabian owes for damaging her hair during a Japanese hair straightening process.
I'm ready to listen to you, Mr. Kasabian. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, Your Honor, this lady, she walks into the salon like a month before she came back in. She said she saw the sign and she wanted to have like some knowledge about the way it's done. So I took the time and I explained to her from A to Z how it's done. So she left. Came back a month later, she just walked in, no appointment, nothing.
You're
Listen, Miss
lying.
Miss McGowan, look at me. Don't speak. Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying? You were testifying for 12 minutes? Listen! Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying? He didn't say anything. That's what you're supposed to do. Don't tell me shy, don't tell me whatever brings back. I'm not interested. I want you to be quiet and let him testify. You had your turn. Okay. We understand each other?
Yes.
Okay, so she came in once, then she came back again July 13th.
So she came back the second time. She just walks in, no appointment, nothing. She says, I made up my mind, I want my hair done. I go, okay, sure, I'm not that busy, I'll do it for you now. So we started working on her. My assistant started to work on her, and then I came and I did the chemical straightening myself. During this time, I look at her hair, and her hair is like very uneven. So I said, can I trim it for you, fix it up? She said yes, so I went ahead and I cut it for her. And then she's saying that I'm looking at her hair through the mirror. How am I going to look at her breast, Your Honor? She has a cape on it. She's covered up. And then she paid for her hair. She was very happy. She left. Now, 3 days later, she comes back in by herself. I'm very busy at the salon. I had like about 5 people we're working on. And she says to me, my hair is fuzzy. I need to talk to you. So I look at her from a distance. I go, come closer. Let me look. My hands are full of color. I'm working on this lady here.
Which lady?
Miguera.
You were
She's
a
my
customer?
client.
Yes.
Just a customer?
Yes, Your
Step up. Tell me your name.
Mayada Cillian.
Do you recall being in the shop, being a customer in the shop on the day when Miss McGowan came in?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't know him from any other place other than the salon?
No.
Okay. Tell me what you heard.
Well, he was coloring my hair at the time that the lady walked in, and she was complaining about her hair being fuzzy. And to look at it, and he tells her, well, it went under chemical process. It's going to take time for your hair to rejuvenate, but it looks fine to me. You can't wash it until 5 days, but it could be touched up with a blow dryer or straight ironing. And she goes, well, I don't have a straight ironing. He goes, well, I know you don't have it, but we sell it here. They sell it everywhere else. If you'd like to purchase one, it's fine. Or you can just touch it up with a blow dryer. And she was still unhappy. She was complaining and started talking loud to him.
What did she say?
She said, well, that was not professional. I'm not happy at all with my hair, and you're really not giving me the attention. He says, if you want to take an appointment, I can condition your hair for you, give it back some moisture. You're more than welcome to come back. But now I can't do anything. I'm with a client. I am sorry that you feel that way. She walks out unhappy and leave and come back maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes later with her husband doing another big scene.
Well, what happened when she came back with her husband?
She came back with her husband. He was done coloring my hair. I had the process on. He was cutting another lady's hair. And she walks in with her husband. Her husband asked him to step out. And Mr. Manouk says, I can't leave my client and step out. He goes, if you don't step out, I'm going to make a big scene in your salon. So Mr. Manouk said, you already made a scene. Let's just hear it, what you have to say. He just started yelling and cussing and using bad words, and all the clients were surprised. I mean, he had other people sitting there that they were really upset and got up and started telling them, please, to be quiet and calm down. And he won't do that. They were both upset. They threatened to do a lawsuit, and they said, we want our money back. You're not giving us our money. He says, I can't give you the money for something I did right. They wanted the money back for their product that they purchased. He says, no problem. You bring the product. I give you the money back.
Your Honor, she wanted to keep the product and have me pay her back the money for the product and the hair.
So after 5-10 minutes of being loud and talking, Mr. Manouk just asked him to leave because it was a really big scene in the salon.
Mr. McGowan, you want to step up here, sir? Why did you go into the salon that day?
Well, after seeing my wife very upset and crying for several days, couldn't sleep for 3 or 4 days, I finally asked her what is wrong, and then she told me that she went to his salon and he didn't have the time of day for her. So she said, will you come back with me? I just want my money back. And so we went into the salon. I said, Mr. Kasabian, we need to talk to you about her hair situation.
She said you made a scene in the salon.
Here's what I said. I said, we need to talk to you about your hair salon. Can you talk to us now? No, I'm busy. I said, you wouldn't talk to my wife a while ago. I said, you need to talk to her now. Either you talk to her now or everybody's going to hear it.
Well, why would you do that, Mr. McGowan? That's outrageous. Sir, listen to me. That's outrageous. Sir, your wife walks in the middle of a business day. She wants his attention while he's working on somebody else. And because she wasn't instantaneously gratified, she went home. She cried to you. You went back to the store, and he was working on somebody else. And you said, if you don't take care and speak to my wife immediately, you made a scene. Well, for you and your wife to walk into a business that's a busy salon and make a scene because you didn't get instant gratification is outrageous.
Your Honor, he burned my hair.
And you reburned it 3 weeks later.
No, I didn't.
Are you wearing a wig now?
No, I didn't.
Your hair looks just fine to me. Your case is dismissed. That's all. All right.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Just because my hair looks good now, it doesn't look like a porcupine. It doesn't mean that I did not endure a lot of headaches.
I think there are a couple of con artists that would try to get something for nothing.
I had to go to psychotherapy to just be able to endure his misconduct.
I think she's psycho already, and she should be put away.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rutherford versus Salsamita. Step forward.
21-year-old student Ann Rutherford is suing her ex-roommate, computer tech Gina Salsameda, for the return of her security deposit. Gina says Ann left the place a mess.
Miss Rutherford, according to what I read in your complaint, you rented a room from the defendant sometime in August. And the idea was that you were going to stay for about 6 months. And because of problems that you encountered, according to you, you felt rendered the tenancy no longer viable.
You gave the defendant notice in October that you plan to vacate in November. This case is about the lack of security deposit that was returned to you because she kept most of your security deposit of $400. I think she gave you back $100, and you want the rest of your security deposit back.
Yeah.
And now, since we've outlined the case, it's up to you to demonstrate to me why you're entitled to her $400 security deposit.
Well, the balance of $300 is for some of the damages.
I'd like you to tell me what the damages were. She was there
sure.
a relatively short period of time, and unless she's a pig, she couldn't have used up all of her security deposit or
She
most
was
of
a
it.
pig, but one was of a painter to come out. She dyed her hair. She got the dye on my bathroom tile, used my white towel all over that. The bathroom door, there was dye on it, and also burgundy dye in the hallway. She had no regard for my home. I have a very nice house.
Well, then
I gave her an opportunity to clean it as well.
Let me see. You have photographs of that?
I'm sorry, I don't have photographs. I have a painter coming out and fixing it, basically painting it.
Let me see what you have.
There was other damage she caused that I didn't even charge her for from some of my furniture.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, so this cost $150.
And that's a minimum fee, basically, to have a painter come out.
And that was because of dye that was from her hair?
Right.
Did you dye your hair when you were there?
Yes, I dyed my hair in the bathroom,
good.
and there was a spot on the door.
Oh, well, had it be painted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. She did not clean. She just basically left the room as is. So I had a cleaning lady come out, and $50 for that. It's a minimum fee for them to come out and clean the room.
I'd like you to show me a picture of the condition she left the room.
I would like to see that as well.
Like I said, it was just she didn't sweep or mop.
Well, then, that's unfortunate. You don't get paid for that.
Okay.
Okay, so far, $150 for painting.
Can I say something about that, Your Honor?
Yeah, sure.
There was a spot of hair dye on the door, and when I left, I said, Gina, I expect to get my full deposit back. I said, I realize there's a spot on the door. I said, if you want to go buy a can of paint for like $15, I'll give you part of my deposit for that.
Let me ask you this question, Miss Rutherford. In what month did you dye your hair?
It was in October, I believe, and then I was gone pretty much the rest of the time.
Just pay attention to my question.
Okay.
If you dyed your hair in October and you got dye on the door, why didn't you go get a can of paint and paint it? Why didn't you clean it up before you went anyplace else?
I cleaned up everything that was on the tile. The hallway charge is absolutely bogus.
Listen to me, my dear.
You did not clean the
Listen
tile.
to me, my dear.
Sorry.
Liar.
If you dyed your hair and you got dye on the door in October, it shouldn't have still been there in November.
I understand.
Good.
Your Honor, I'm also suing for punitive damages for the fact that I even have to go through all of this. Just the fact that she took this money from me and the fact that, you know, I even need to come and do this is ridiculous.
Well, that's what courts are for. That's what happens. Where are you living now?
I'm living with my friend Christine across.
Is that where you moved immediately after moving out? How long have you been friendly with Christine?
For about 2 years.
Why didn't you move in with her to begin with?
She actually already had a roommate at the time, and I had somebody that I was going to be living with, and it just didn't work out, and so I needed to find somebody immediately. And Gina seemed like she was nice, and then about a month into it, I just found out a bunch of things that I really wasn't comfortable with.
So then you moved back in with your friend whose roommate left?
Yes.
Perfect. Now it sounds like everybody is happy. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $150. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On the calendar, the matter of Cyrus versus Riddick.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Cyrus, he used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. He's a boyfriend with whom you made a baby.
Yes.
And you claim, in addition to being an ex-boyfriend, he also is a debtor, that he owes you for 2 loans.
Yes.
Mr. Riddick says he doesn't owe you for anything.
Mm-hmm.
How old's your baby?
She will be 4 in May.
Did you and Mr. Riddick ever live together?
Yes, we did.
From when to when?
Probably from the beginning of 2002 until he went to college in 2004.
Okay, tell me about the first loan.
The first loan, he went away to college after we had our child, and about 9 months later, around April, he contacted me about coming back home. He didn't want to purchase a plane ticket. He found a car out there that he liked. And I let him know, like, why don't you just come back first, and maybe we can look for a car for you out here and do it better out here. What if the car breaks down on your way back? He said, no, it's a car he really likes, and he wants to fix it up. And plus, it will be cheaper, and he can help me with the baby by picking her up from daycare and so on and so on. If we had 2 vehicles, it would be better.
Were you working at the time?
Yes.
Were you living independently?
I was living with my mother at the time.
So, go ahead.
I explained to him the interest rate on, because I don't have that kind of cash. The interest rate on the card that I can put it on is like 19%, which is a ridiculous interest rate to even pay that much money on. And I was like, and I still want to buy a house within a couple years. You know, if I do let you borrow it, it needs to be paid off. Yeah. So I finally let him borrow the money.
How much?
$3,600.
And you took that off credit card?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he make the payments?
When he came back, he made a couple payments, random payments between September 2005 and July of 2006.
How many payments did he make?
He only made a total of 5.
And in what amount?
One was an amount 75, 30, 142, 117, and $40. A total of 404.
That's odd numbers. Why?
I took what I could at the time.
What do you mean you took what you could?
Well, because he doesn't keep a job that long, so whenever he was working and not going to school, he would give me money. So when he
Were you
started
living together?
No, when he came back from college, we were not living together. He had another girlfriend. We've been not together. We've been back and forth.
But when he came back, he had another girlfriend, and you had given him money for a car?
I gave him money before he came back from college.
And after he came back, he found a new girlfriend?
About a few months later, yes, he did. Well, he was talking to her. I found out now while he was away at college. So.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
You didn't have a new girlfriend after you came home?
No, ma'am. It took a while afterwards.
How long afterwards?
It was about 6 months till when we came to the realization.
Fine. So 6 months later, you now had a new girlfriend, and you had a car that she had paid for.
The car was stolen.
I don't care if it was stolen. What difference does it make if it was stolen or not?
Doesn't make a difference.
Who do you think's going to pay for the car?
It was a mutual agreement we had for our family.
You had no family.
At the
Family
time
means you're married.
we were trying to work out our relationship.
That doesn't mean you have a family.
Hell not.
It's not a family. You're living in your house, she's living in her house, you just happen to have a baby. That's not a family.
Okay.
That's not even old-fashioned, but that's not a family. It's only a family if it's convenient for your mind, it's a family. Now, you're driving this car. Did you have insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't your insurance pay for the car?
Because the insurance paid $325 for the car.
Yes, and?
Yes, and
What did you do with the $325?
I put it towards a down payment to get another car. As the story was told, when I was in school, it would have cost more money to ship all my things back from school.
Who cares?
To home.
Who cares? To whose home did you ship your things? To whose home did you ship
When
your
I first
things?
got back,
No,
I
no.
was at Amber's home.
Listen to my statement very carefully, Mr. Riddick. When you were going to ship the things, where were you shipping them to?
You misunderstood what I said.
No.
It would have cost more money for me to
I
catch a
understand
plane,
exactly what
to
you're
catch a plane and ship my things back home.
Where were you going? To whose home were you going to ship the
Amber
things?
May Cyrus's home.
With her mother?
No.
That's where I stayed at before.
Did you come back there after you purchased this car and stay there with her when you came back?
When I first came back, yes.
For
Afterwards, I
how,
left
just a second. For how long did you stay in her mother's house, sir, when you first came back?
about a week
All right. And then where did you go?
to my mother's house.
That's better. Now, and when you went back to your mother's house, did you take all your stuff with you?
Majority of it, yes.
Yeah. What's the payoff on the car?
The payoff on the card, I don't have today's payoff. Because due to him not paying child support and stuff, I had to charge my own charges on this card. I only added up the interest that would have accrued for his purchase, because I did use the card.
How do you expect me to figure that out?
I just times the interest by the 2 years that it's been that he owed me.
I can't do that.
I
How
don't
much was the whole car? Listen, you're
The
going
whole
to
car
complicate
was-
my life. I don't disentangle people's problems.
The
Do you
whole car was
understand? That's not
$3,600.
my job. The car was $3,600 and he paid $404. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
$3,196. And when did you make your last payment on the car, sir?
I've never made a payment on the car.
She says you gave her $404.
That money that was given was to take care of my child before I was put on child support.
Have you been paying your child support
Yes,
regularly?
ma'am, I have my documents.
Have you been paying your child support regularly?
Yes.
Then can you explain to me why they, according to her at least, they repossessed your truck?
They never repossessed my truck.
Really? For child support? They take your taxes for back child support?
That's because I was put on, then took off.
Did
so
they
the amount,
take your taxes to pay off child support?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and how much did they take?
$930.
Did you contest that amount, sir?
No, I didn't contest the amount.
Then you must have agreed that you owed $930 in child support.
We had already went to court for the child support, and that's what they told me I had to pay from the day she filed until the current day we went to the
Right.
mediator. So that is what I was owed in child support. It
Correct.
wasn't back payment as if I wasn't working or anything.
No, it was if you weren't paying anything, sir.
Yes.
Let's say this. Let's say they made an order for you September 1st to pay $100 a month.
and you hadn't paid child support since January 1st. So they would say, well, if you paid $100 a month going back till January, then you don't owe anything. But if you hadn't been paying any child support, then they're going to say from the date of filing, this is what you owe. Now, had you been paying her child support?
I wasn't paying her directly child support, no.
Well, who were you paying it to?
I was taking care of Kimara.
And how were you doing that?
By supporting her. I had my daughter 3 days a week and taking her to and from daycare.
Who was paying for the daycare?
We were both paying for daycare.
Were you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
In the court order, it was, but not before that. When he was away at college, every time after, until I filed, I was paying the full amount of daycare. That's why I filed for support, because he wasn't helping.
As stated by Amber Cyrus, the original reason she filed for child support was jealousy, in that she wasn't getting her money on the 1st, and she needed it on the 1st. I was giving it to her when I got paid on the 10th. I got paid on the 10th and the last day of the month, and she couldn't wait 10 days to get that money.
My daughter would be out of daycare if I waited 10 days to pay daycare.
But as she stated, she was already paying it, so 10 more days could not have hurt her pockets that much, ma'am.
Maybe not, but she likes the idea of getting it through the court, and I don't blame her, because that has nothing to do with old girlfriend, new girlfriend, or, of course, old car loan that gets stolen.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You'd let him take money out of your daughter's savings account that you put money away for her future so that he could make a truck payment. That's your stupidity.
And later today,
You went over a median in the parking lot and you damaged the car. Who do you think should pay for that?
Not me, I'm not responsible for it.
Why? Did the island move while you were driving?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amber Cyrus says the father of her child, William Riddick, owes for a car she bought with her credit card. Amber also claims William took money from their 4-year-old daughter's bank account.
You also took money from your daughter's savings account.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
My great-grandmother passed, and I was awarded to go to her funeral. The day of, I got called into work to open the branch because they had a meeting. I was a bank teller, and they were supposed to let me off at 10. The meeting went till 12. When they came back, I just counted my tail out and left. And then I came back. They put me on administrative leave for just walking out.
So?
So from there, I got fired. From then, my savings account went to zero, and I needed money to pay my car loan.
So you had a new car that you were paying off?
Yes, ma'am.
Without paying for the old car that got stolen?
The old
that
car
she
wasn't
paid
a
for?
loan.
Yeah, I find it's a loan.
Okay.
I find it's a loan. You're not her husband. If you were her husband and you
I
bought a
don't find
car,
it was
you
a
were
loan.
family and living together, that's one thing. You're away in college, you have a baby, you go to college, very nice. Call her, I want to drive home instead of flying home. It'll be more convenient and it'll save me money. Well, it saved you a whole lot of money. Saved you everything. You didn't pay for an airplane ticket. You didn't pay to ship anything home. She put the money on her credit card and you didn't pay. That's a pretty good deal.
How is it to pay for a decision that you make for your family?
You're not her family. Get over it.
Okay.
You're not her family. You're not any more her family than you are my family, sir. Family
I
is a
didn't lay
unit
down and
that
have a
stays
child with
together. Family, listen, everything has babies. Dogs, cats, fish, guppies, parakeets, they have babies. They don't necessarily have families forever. You don't have a family with this lady. You have a new girlfriend. How many children do you have? Just one?
Just one.
Just one. With her.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a new girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you live with her?
No.
You don't live with anybody.
I live on my own.
Good. That's not a family. Having a girlfriend is not a family.
I didn't say she was my girlfriend.
You just told me I have a new girlfriend.
You said it was my family.
No, I said having a girlfriend isn't a family.
Oh, okay.
Even having a girlfriend with whom you make a baby isn't a family. Unless you live together as a family unit. Then, by some stretch of the imagination, you may be able to call that a family unit. Now, I can't figure out what he owes you with interest, madam. He owes you $3,196 minimally, right? That's without any interest. And
Yes,
if he
ma'am.
hasn't made any payments, add on another $1,000, that's $41.96. And what he's saying is he needed money to pay his car loan, and you'd let him take money out of your daughter's savings account that you put money away for
Yes,
her
ma'am.
future so that he could make a truck payment. That's your stupidity.
I understand that.
Then you deal with your own stupidity. Stop making payments for him.
I will. I did.
Good. You want to know why? The last mistake you should make with him is making a baby. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. He looks like a very nice young man, but he's not ready to commit to you or anybody. He thinks that because he has a child, he has a family. He'll make a couple of families.
Yes. I know.
Right.
Right. But right now he owes you $41.96.
Thank you.
That's it. Judgment
Thank
for the
you.
plaintiff. That's
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He feels if he has to pay me child support, he doesn't owe me any money.
Hey, women are women.
Hopefully he learned his lessons, I learned mine, so.
Vindictive women.
The most important thing to me is my child.
I'm done.
For my future, I'm securing mine and my daughter's finances so we can have a better life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Culp versus Molina, step forward.
21-year-old Krista Culp is suing her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old Jonathan Molina, for damaging her car when he ran over a cement island.
Miss Culp, you and Mr. Molina had a relationship. You lived together for a period of time. You claim he moved out owing you rent. And prior to his moving out, a short time before he moved out, he had an accident with your car and damaged it. Let's deal with the car first because the car is the easy thing. Mr. Molina, you did in fact borrow Miss Culp's car to go to the store to run an errand. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were there, you went over a median in the parking lot. Is that correct?
Yes, I went over a, what do you call it, island?
Whatever. Something higher than the sidewalk, right?
Right.
And you damaged the car, right?
Yes.
Who do you think should pay for that?
Not me, I'm not responsible for it.
Why? Did the island move while you were driving?
No,
Then who should be responsible for it, Mr. Molina?
not me.
Well, I'm asking you, who?
She should.
Now explain why, sir.
Because she gave me full permission to borrow her car.
Right. She didn't give you permission to drive it over an island. She gave you permission to go to the store for an errand. You had an accident because you drove carelessly. I mean, unless you're telling me this is a movable parkway. You drove carelessly, therefore it's your fault. Now, Mr. Molina, you have to repeat after me, sir. How old are you?
19.
It was my fault.
It was not my fault.
Whose fault was it, Mr. Molina? Mr. Molina,
Yes, ma'am.
were you driving?
Yes, I was.
It was your fault! Did I say it loud enough so that maybe you understand it at age 19? At age 19, you shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody. How old are you?
21.
You have children?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
2.
He's too young for you. You have children?
No.
You should be out playing hopscotch or something. But you owe her to fix the car, Mr. Molina, because when you have an accident with a car that you borrow because you're driving recklessly and go over an island that is not moving, it's your fault. And if she had no insurance on the car, she has to have it fixed. Do you have insurance?
I have insurance, but it's liability insurance.
She doesn't have collision insurance. That means you have to pay for it, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. How much will it be to fix the car?
The estimate was $2,251.29.
And what kind of car is this?
It's a J30 Infiniti 1994.
So the car is 13 years old.
Yes, it's my only transportation.
Let me take a look at that. This isn't the kind of estimate that you usually get from a place.
That is from Tom's mobile mechanic. He just came over yesterday and estimated it because he had to come to my apartment because the car is undrivable.
Okay, so you have to fix the car.
Yes.
And he wants $2,251.29, and I think he'll do it for $2,000. Now, let's talk about the rent. You say he moved out owing you some money for rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whose name is on the lease?
Both of us.
And tell me, under what circumstances did he move out?
He's supposed to pay me $400 each month.
Under what circumstances did he move out?
Owing me about...
No. Did you ask him to leave, or did he just leave?
Yes, Your Honor, I asked him to leave after I found out he was cheating on me.
So you asked him to leave?
Yes.
Okay. And he left?
Yes.
And in what month did he leave?
It was the middle of October.
Is that right, sir?
Yeah.
Did he pay October's rent?
Not all of it.
How much did he pay?
$50.
Did he give it to you directly?
Yes.
$50?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he pay September's rent?
He paid half.
How much did he pay?
$200.
Now, Mr. Molina, you have a defense, and you say that you work, correct?
Yes. And the place I was working at, they were cutting my hours, and I was working like 21 to 26 hours, and every check that I would get, I would hand it over to her.
That's what you say.
And it was like 2-something, and I would have no money. Every week, I would just hand over my check, give it to her.
That's what he says. He says that every week he worked, he would hand you his check, and you would give him gas money. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. He would hand me cash. His check was for $80. He kept $30 for gas, gave me $50. That was for October.
Okay, so how much did he give you for October? He worked every week in October, so he couldn't have given you just $50.
Your Honor, he doesn't give me every check. He says that he gives me every check. Sometimes he only works 20 hours a week.
Was he working more than that when you decided to lease an apartment with him?
We had both just gotten new jobs to get the apartment together, and it's not my fault he only works 20 hours a week. He could have got a different job or asked for more hours.
How much did you give her in September for the rent, sir?
None.
She says for September she got $200.
I thought you were talking about October, but September I gave her $200.
And in October?
I only gave her $50.
And what did she say when you gave her the $50?
She's like, where's the rest of it? I'm like, well, my hours are cut, you know? There's nothing I could do. I asked my manager, can I have more hours? You know, I have stuff to pay, this and that. And they didn't like me. They just cut my hours.
Ms. Cope, where were you living before you moved in with Mr. Molina and your 2 children?
I was living with my best friend.
And how much rent were you paying?
I wasn't having to pay rent.
How long did you live with your best friend?
For about a year and a half.
And what is the rent you are paying now?
$7.79 a month.
And how much child support do you receive?
I don't receive any child support.
Why not?
Because both of the fathers to my children, they were in prison, so.
They were what?
In prison, incarcerated.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a secretary for a law office.
What are your earnings?
$10 an hour.
How are you paying the rent?
I get welfare.
How much do you get from welfare?
$500.
$500 a month towards your rent?
Yes.
What else do they pay for?
They give me food stamps, about $300. That and my work is my only income.
So that your rent is really $279 a month?
Yeah, you can say that.
I am saying that.
Okay.
Your rent is $279 a month. So in the month of September, he gave you $200. So in September, your share of the rent was $79.
Yes. Well,
and in October, he gave you, according to you, $50. So that sort of evened it out. The government was paying most of the rent, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to stay in that apartment, is that correct?
Yes.
Good. Mr. Molina owes you to fix the car. The rent the government is paying for. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may. This case number 24 on the calendar in the matter of Collins versus Bonsell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Collins, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you after a hockey game.
Yes.
You're both participants in that game, and you claim that you were seriously injured.
Yes.
You want him to pay not only all of your medical bills, but also pain and suffering and damage for the assault. Mr. Bonsell says you started this altercation, and you may have gotten the tough end of this deal, but that was of your own doing because you started it. Is this a professional hockey team?
No, this is an adult hockey league that's just for fun.
Okay, there's no money that changes hands. No. How long have you been playing, sir?
Probably for 8, 9 years.
And how old are you now?
I'm 20.
And what's the name of your team?
We are the Vipers.
Mr. Bonsell, what's the name of your team?
It's the Heat, Your Honor.
And how long have you been playing, sir?
9 years. I'm 30 years old.
Had you ever played before against each other?
Numerous times.
Ever had any trouble before?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
You had trouble with him before?
Yes.
Oh, tell me about it.
We've had problems on the ice before while playing games. I am a goalie.
Anything unusual?
Not really. I've had problems with other players also, but nothing really off the ice. Maybe some words exchange.
I'm talking about on the ice. I mean, on the ice, I see all of the idiots that are on the ice fighting with each other and hitting them with sticks and punching. And I don't watch that sport a lot, but it sounds to me as if it's sort of taken the place of the old gladiators. You know, they were allowed to hit, fight. You know, it's a really dumb sport. Or it may not be a dumb sport. It's dumb the way it's played.
Parts of it maybe, but...
I'm glad you agree with that, sir. So let's get back to this particular day. Give me the date of this incident.
November 18th of 2002.
And your team won or lost?
We lost.
According to what I read in the complaint and in the answer, when the game is over, everybody's supposed to get in the line. My grandchildren do that. You know, they get in line and they sort of high-five everybody and say, good game, good game, good game, good game. Is that what's supposed to happen?
Yes.
You remember that, Bird, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Except Mr. Collins was angry that he lost. So after the game, he didn't stand in line saying, high five, good game, good game, good game. He went sulking off to the locker room. Is that right?
No. I was not angry that I lost.
You were not angry that you lost.
It's a game. I
So
was
then
not
why-
angry at all.
So then why didn't you stand with the rest of your teammates?
The reason why I left the ice early before the handshaking line was because Tony was in a physical argument with my brother Ian, and there was a lot of fighting and scuffling going on the ice.
On
I
the
had no-
ice?
on the ice still.
Yes.
I had no place being involved in it. If I'm involved in that, I get thrown out for other games.
So you didn't leave the ice because you were angry that you lost. You left the ice without shaking hands because you were angry at him for fighting with your brother.
I was angry at everybody because there's not supposed to be fighting after
Okay,
the
just
game.
a second. So you were angry with everybody.
Well,
So
there's
the
not
re-
supposed to be fighting on the ice after the game. After the game, that's it. That's the end of the game. Leave it alone.
All I want to know is, what were you angry at, sir? Everybody else was shaking hands on your team?
No, that had not started yet.
But they were out there to do it.
They were out there, and the refs were breaking up the scuffle between Tony and my brother.
At the end of the game, did the two teams get together and shake hands at some point?
Some of the players, yes.
Not you.
Not me, and not some of both teams. Some of the players left the ice early.
You left the ice. Mr. Poncel, did you stay on the ice to shake hands?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you left.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Collins.
After the game, I left the ice. I stood in front of my locker room door. I opened it. I said a couple things to my players inside my locker room. I turned around. I watched what happened on the ice. That's why I stayed next to the door so I could see what was going on. Tony, as
This
he
is
was
Mr. Boncel.
Mr. Boncel, as he was walking by me, he said, excuse my language, you little. I said, you Tony, and he proceeded to swing on me. I had my helmet on. I was in full gear. My helmet did come off, and I went back at him mostly to protect myself.
So you went back at him, all right?
I went back at him because he is an officer. I don't know what he's going to do.
Okay, go ahead.
After that, he grabbed me. I never actually got a punch off.
When you say you went after him, exactly what did you do?
I took maybe 2 steps towards him, and I raised my arm to hit him.
Okay. And he had already hit you?
He had already hit me and knocked my helmet off. But
Where
it
did he hit
still
you?
hurts. In the face.
Then you got into a scuffle with each other?
He grabbed me, pushed me to the ground, and when he came down on top of me, my skates do not slide on, it's a rubber matting, so they stuck, and my knees buckled underneath me. And that's when he came down on top of me, and the weight of him on top of me just twisted my ankle because I don't have
Okay,
room
so you
to move.
twisted your ankle.
It's a severe sprain, is what the doctor described it.
In your ankle?
In my ankle. She told me I would have been better off breaking it. It would have healed faster.
You sprained your ankle.
Yes.
Now, what injuries did you suffer in your face?
None. The helmets are designed to take a firm blow to the face.
So what you're telling me is that he didn't come in contact with your face, he came in contact with your helmet.
My helmet, which came in contact with my face.
He came in contact with your helmet?
Yes.
With his hand?
Yes.
So you weren't injured at all in your face?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's coming out towards you, and you took a swing at him.
No, Your Honor, it wasn't a swing.
Hit him in his helmet. That's what you just said to me. How did that happen? He put his head into your hand?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronan Collins claims fellow Hockey League member Anthony Boncel assaulted him after a game. Anthony says Ronan refused to shake hands.
Let me hear your version of the events, Mr. Boncel.
After we shook hands, I got off the ice. My witness got off the ice after me.
I just want you to look at me, Mr. Boncel.
Okay.
I'm like a truth machine, Mr. Boncel. I have something back here. The hair on the back of my neck starts to sizzle when somebody is trying to give me a soaping. Do you understand?
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
Okay, good. The truth, Mr. Boncel,
Yes,
will
Your Honor.
set you free.
Yes, Your Honor. So I got off the ice. As I approached the locker room, which is right off the ice door, I saw Mr. Collins waiting in the locker room door.
Mr. Collins says that he was waiting at the door because he was looking at the activity on the ice. Isn't that right, Mr. Collins?
Yes.
So that's true. You had to pass him in order to get to your locker.
Correct.
And what, if anything, did you say to him when you passed him?
As I passed him, I said, "Why don't you shake the hands like the rest of your team? Are you a poor sport or something?"
Are you a poor sport? Is that what you said to him? Oh, Mr. Poncel, I don't believe that. That probably is the connotation of what you said to him. But I'm going to run this by you once more. So let's start with the fact that I don't believe that you used those words when you were trying to impart the information to him that you thought he was a poor sport. So you want to tell me what you said to him?
That's exactly what I said, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bonsell, we're sticking with the story. And he said what to you?
He basically started cussing at me. He came out of the locker room.
No, tell me, understand cussing. I'm older than you are. I've heard more cussing, believe me, in my life. A lot of it directed at me. What did he say to you, Mr. Bonsell?
He said, "You mother," and he came out of the locker room at me.
How did he come out at you?
I was still walking as I was saying this to him and as he was saying this to me. I turned to him as he was coming out of the locker room, and that's what I hit him in his helmet with my glove that was on my hand.
So he's coming out towards you, and you took a swing at him.
No, Your Honor, it wasn't a swing.
Well, you did if you hit him in his helmet. That's what you just said to me. You hit him in his helmet.
Correct, but I didn't take a swing at him. Basically,
how did that happen? He put his head into your hand?
It's like a straight arm type movement.
Show me. Mr.
I'm sorry,
Bonsell,
my hand's open. I have a glove on, so it wasn't with a fist.
was your hand injured?
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
And neither was his face.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
Good. So far, we have a little lunging and a little stopping, no injury. What was the next thing that happened, Mr. Bonsell?
He continued to come at me. We went up against a wall. I grabbed onto his arms, and we went down to the ground, and basically I held him there until help arrived.
Go ahead. You have witnesses you want me to
Yes,
see?
I have 2 witnesses who saw
Okay.
the incidents.
Good.
Jacob and Jamie.
Hello, Your Honor. Okay, what I exactly saw was when they came off the ice, Ronan walked to his doorway to see what was going on, like he said. There was a few of his teammates in the locker room, and when he was standing in the doorway, Bonsell walked by and said, "You, Ronan." And then Ronan turned around at him and said, "You, Bonsell." And then when Bonsell went to throw a hit towards his face, I went to go searching for a ref, and then when I turned back around, Bonsell has him on the ground and Bonsell's on top.
Thank you. So you'd heard the beginning of this, is that right?
Right.
And that's different from what Mr. Collins said happened. Isn't that right, Mr. Collins?
Yes.
So she heard something different from what you reported to me.
She didn't get all of what was said.
Just a minute. She told me what she says she heard.
She got the you right.
Sit down.
Okay.
Next. Name.
Jacob.
Jacob. Where were you, and what did you hear, and what did you see?
I was coming off the ice at the time of the incident. I was probably 8 to 10 feet
You
behind.
were a player on the Vipers?
Yes. I was coming off the ice after the handshake. I was about approximately 8 to 10 feet behind Mr. Bonsell. I didn't hear what Mr. Bonsell said to Ronan. I heard Ronan say, "F you, Bonsell," and then I saw Mr. Bonsell. I don't know if he was trying to punch him or push him, but he struck his hand out at Mr. Collins, and then Mr. Collins pushed back at him, and then there was lots of players by then, and there was a big pileup in the doorway.
You said you didn't know whether he went to punch or push. Is that what you said?
Yes, his hand did strike it.
His hand struck the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
So the helmet is plastic or metal, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Hard.
Yes.
So you would have to be a real idiot, right, to punch at this metal.
Well, we also...
You'd have to be an idiot to punch at the metal.
Yes.
You wouldn't necessarily have to be an idiot if you just wanted to keep somebody away from you, pushing them away. But if you actually punched at this metal, you could hurt yourself.
Yes.
So would it be a fair statement, Jacob, that Mr. Bonsell had protection, his glove, and it was not his intention to do any harm to Mr. Collins, but to keep him at a distance? That be a fair statement?
It would be fair, but Mr. Bonsell was the aggressor.
Really?
Ronan Collins had not stepped forward to attack Mr. Bonsell yet until Mr. Bonsell struck Ronan in the face.
He didn't strike him in the face. He pushed him away on his helmet. And if after this incident, Mr. Collins, you were hurt, if you said to me, I was hurt and I had my teeth knocked out because he went and struck me in the face, and I had done nothing to him, you would have a case. What happened was you were angry, and everybody's testosterone is all in high gear, swirling around.
and you watched on the ice and you walked off because you said that you saw him messing with your brother on the ice.
Yes.
That makes you really angry.
And there were other teammates jumping in.
Whatever. You were angry at him. And you were angry, period. What happened was, at the end of the day, the two of you started up with each other, and you got the worst of the deal because he pushed you down and you twisted your ankle. Get over it. You're a big boy. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Has a history of doing this off the ice and attacking players who are more vulnerable and smaller than he is.
I think the judge had it right. I think the facts speak for themselves, and she made the right decision.
I am very vulnerable off the ice, and I can't attack anybody with gear on like this.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's it's water under the bridge.
After the game is over, it's over. Nothing should happen off the ice. But things still happen every now and then out in the parking lots, out in the locker rooms. Things still happen.
Probably because they lose every time they play us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Turner Hall. Step forward.
19-year-old student Courtney Johnson is suing former friends, 19-year-old Justin Turner and 20-year-old Stanley Hall, for causing her to be homeless during spring break.
You were going on spring break. They had a hotel room or a motel room. You and your girlfriend decided that you would sort of tag along and ask if you could share the hotel or motel room with them. So far, is that pretty accurate?
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, but you're really not supposed to be here. You'll give us some money and we'll all stay together as long as we can. So far, right?
Correct.
Yes.
You gave them how much?
175.
Okay, they say 164, you say 175, let's say $175. And the $175 was for how many days?
For 6 nights.
For you alone?
Yes.
Then somebody, either you or your girlfriend, went and asked for some towels. And the manager of the hotel or motel said, I rented this room to 4 guys, and this is a girl asking for some towels. You got to get out. Pretty accurate?
Right. Yeah.
You want your money back. Not only do you want your money back, $175, but you want the food that you bought, because you brought food into the room.
Correct.
That they ate. And you want money for your emotional distress.
Correct.
Get over it. That's what you get for your emotional distress. My words. Get over it. You get the same for the food. The only thing we're going to talk about here is $175. Who's going to talk for this team over here?
I'll talk.
And your name is?
Justin Turner.
Justin. You kept $175.
Correct.
Right? You can't keep $175. The $175 was for 6 nights, right? She only stayed there how many nights, Justin?
1.
So why should you keep her $175?
We knew going into it that usually you have wristbands to stay at the hotel, and there was a risk that we might not all be able to stay there. So there was no just agreement that if she got kicked out, she lost her money. If we would have got kicked out, I don't believe we would have got our money either from her.
You didn't give her any money, Justin.
No.
You stayed there. How many nights?
3, 4.
So you left early?
Right. We had
Why?
to leave early. One of the people that came with us was a driver. He had problems with his car and some other stuff, and he had to go home.
But it wasn't anybody's fault that you left. Nobody threw you out.
Got it.
What do you do, Justin?
I'm a student, and I play football.
Student where?
University of Louisville.
Can you divide 175 by 6 in your head?
About $40-some.
I couldn't do it either. My calculator said that it's about $29.
$30. Your Honor, may I say something?
Sure.
The room was $823.62. We came about where it'd be mainly about $170 a night. So basically, each person was paying $170 a night. So that's where that came from.
Are you following that, Officer Byrd? What he's saying is they decided that each person would spend $175 and pay for 1 night at the motel. And that would take care of their share for the entire 6 nights. Therefore, she stayed at the hotel 1 night, $175. Are you getting it now?
I get it.
Are you getting it now?
I get it.
Okay. I feel like I'm doing one of those Jay Leno bits, you know, when he goes jaywalking with people, right? I don't want to deal with it. When you get him outside, try to explain it to him. Listen, from the $175, we deduct $30.
$145. That's what you get back. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Domzalski versus Wilson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Domzalski, according to your complaint, Mr. Wilson used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore, and he assaulted you twice. After he assaulted you, I assume you had nothing to do with him.
That's correct.
How long were you involved with him for this assault?
Well, I dated him originally back when I was in high school.
How old are you now?
I'm 22. When I had first dated him, I was 16. And then we broke up, and we got back together in August 11th of 2004.
When was the assault?
January 10th, 2005.
Tell me about it.
Well, Brian and I were at a bar, and we had gotten into an argument. He mentioned something about a friend of his who I had dated while we were separated, and how he was going to come back into town, and he wanted to see how I was going to react to his friend being back in town to see if we're going to try to reunite.
Mr. Wilson, you're going to get a chance.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we were arguing about that, and I told him, I wouldn't cheat on you. I care too much about you. And so he left the bar. He wound up leaving. So I went after him to make amends,
Why would you go after him to make amends? What had you done wrong?
I hadn't done anything wrong. I was just trying to talk to him, just to make sure, that we were okay, because I didn't want it to end on that.
What had you been drinking?
A beer, a Corona.
And you?
A Corona.
How many?
I had like 1 or 2.
Let's say 2.
Okay.
What about you?
I had probably about 1.5 before I got fed up.
Let's go to 2.
2.
So you've had a couple of beers and you're arguing at the bar. You couldn't argue at home?
That's how it goes every time we went out. Every time we went out, it was a big scene.
Okay. So now you're outside trying to make amends for something that you didn't do. What happened outside?
Outside, I went to my car to retrieve his jacket because he was like, I'm walking home, and I offered him a ride, and he refused. So
what did you say? You said, don't walk, I'll drive you home?
Yes, I said, I will take you to the house. And
how far is the house from the bar?
About 5 minutes driving.
How long walking?
I don't know, like a half an hour maybe. I'm not really sure.
How long a walk is it?
Oh, half hour.
Good. So we agree on that. So you wanted to walk home?
Yeah.
So even though he's walking home without his jacket, you went to the car, got his jacket, and followed him?
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's when we started arguing some more. He pushed me. I went into a tree. My face was bloody.
How did your face get bloody?
I was scratched up. He hit me.
You didn't say he hit you. You said he pushed you into a tree.
Yeah,
when did he hit you?
He pushed me into a tree, and he hit me also afterwards.
He hit you with an open hand or a closed hand?
Open hand.
What happened then?
I was walking along the street by the bar, and I was spitting blood. I had blood coming from my mouth. So that's when I called my sister, and I needed her to come pick me up to give me a ride back to my car because I had walked a little. It was a distance when I was walking with him because we were talking.
You were talking or fighting?
Well, we were fighting.
Go ahead.
And I was crying, spitting up blood. My face was all bloody, so I had my sister come pick me up.
How long did it take her to get there?
She was at the bar as well, so it took her like 2 minutes. She was there real quick because she heard how upset I was.
So you and your sister came in 2 separate cars?
Yes.
She came, picked you up in her car, and what did you do when she picked you up in the car?
She was cleaning my face. We cleaned my face off.
And then?
And then I went back over to the house to collect my belongings to leave. And he came in, he had a piece of pizza in the microwave, and he intentionally threw it.
Just a second, hold it. You're home first, is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And then he came home?
He came home while I was packing my belongings.
How did the pizza get into the microwave?
The pizza was already there, Your Honor.
Pizza was in the house already, and he was taking it out to heat it up?
Yes.
So he heated up the pizza in the microwave. Go ahead.
And then we continued arguing, and that's when he intentionally threw the pizza at my face.
How did he do that?
He had the pizza in his hand, and he threw it.
And it hit your face, and it burned your face?
Yes.
Okay. So he left the bar, Amy, to get away from the argument and was walking home. So what I want to know is how the argument continued.
We were arguing about financial problems.
How did it start? Who said what to whom?
I believe it was I who had said something in regards to the financial.
That sounds right. So what did you say financial?
Basically that I do a lot for him and he doesn't respect me. You know, basically trying to show him that why would I cheat on him when I'm going grocery shopping, all the bills are in my name.
So you wanted to continue the discussion?
Yes.
You weren't
I wasn't trying to argue.
You wanted to continue the discussion, not just pack up and leave, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and he's sitting there. He's not saying a word to you.
No, he was saying things.
Not before you approached him to start the discussion again, right? I'm just figuring out what's happening here, Amy.
Okay, that's correct.
Do you understand? Mm-hmm. I'm not making any excuses for him if he hurt you. I want you to get real with what was happening that night. What was happening that night was you weren't letting it go. Because if you're assaulted and you call your sister because you were so upset and your sister comes to get you in the car, then you say to her, do me a favor, follow me to Mom's house because I'm going to stay there. Tomorrow I'll get the police and go over and pick up my stuff. But if you want to go back and continue the discussion with him, and you knew he was going home because he said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to be involved with you anymore. I'm walking home to cool off. So you knew he was going home and you followed him home.
No, because I figured that I would get there quicker than he would and have my stuff already packed and ready to leave.
So let's see what we have. We have a timeline here. You call your sister on the phone. She has to get out to the parking lot, get into her car, start the car, come and pick you up. A couple of minutes. Then you said she helped clean you up because you were bleeding. Let's say that took another 10 minutes. So now you got 5 minutes before he's going to be home.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you go home anyway. So you expected him to be home. There's no question in my mind. So don't tell me you didn't expect him to be home yet. You expected him to be home. And you wanted to continue the discussion because you weren't ready to let it go.
Because I didn't want to be accused of something that I would never do.
What difference does it make? Somebody hits you in the face, as you allege he hit you in the face. Who cares whether he accuses you of being Matahari? What difference does it make? You want to get away from him.
Yes.
You don't go back into a situation where there's been, according to you, violence, and start the discussion all over again by telling him, why would I want to do something bad to you? I cook for you, I clean for you, I work for you, I do everything else for you. That's what you were telling him, right?
Yes. Why would you do this to me? Basically, that's what I was trying to say, Your Honor.
What difference does it make?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How old are you?
27.
27. I'm a few years older than you are.
You don't look
and
it.
You're very, very sweet, Mr. Wilson. It's not going to help you any.
And later today,
you could have been married to this warped thinking, allowed children to reproduce with this warped thinking. So I want you to consider yourself very lucky.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amy Dumslowski says ex-boyfriend Brian Wilson owes for burning her face with a slice of pizza. Brian says the argument started when he saw Amy dancing with another man.
Now the ball is in your court, Mr. Wilson. Don't smile at me, because let me explain something to you. How old are you?
27.
27. I'm a few years older than you are.
You don't look
and
it.
You're very, very sweet, Mr. Wilson. It's not going to help you any. And you know how long I've been eating pizza? A lot longer than you have. I never knew a pizza to fly off a plate and hit somebody in the face. How many flying pizzas did you know in your years? Never.
0.
We never knew a flying pizza. So with that in mind, Mr. Wilson, let's go back to, you're in the bar with Miss Amy.
Right.
Both had a couple of beers. Now.
I saw her dancing with somebody on the dance floor. I didn't want to stand for it, so I left the bar.
So you saw her dancing with somebody?
Right. Supposedly it was just a friend, but, you know, I don't know that friend, so it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I left the bar. I'm walking down the street. She comes running up behind me, you know, hit me, trying to pull on my shirt. She actually ripped the shirt that I had underneath my button-up shirt.
Well, tell me what she said to you as she was pulling on your shirt.
What the is my problem? Why are you leaving? You know, so as I'm walking home, she's still pulling at me, you know, yelling, you know, because when she drinks and is under the influence of other drugs, you know, she's a live wire.
Was she under the influence of other drugs?
I say so.
What other drug?
Marijuana.
Did you see her smoking marijuana that day?
Yeah.
Were you smoking marijuana
No.
that day? But she was?
Right.
Okay, keep going.
So as we continue to the house, finally, you know, she gave up, you know, after my shirt's ripped. She goes back to the car.
So you don't know anything about hitting her in the face?
I didn't. She might have caught like some buttons from trying to pull on my shirt and me just defending myself to, you know, just so I can walk home and avoid the whole situation, because we could have fought if we really wanted to fight in the bar.
Okay.
You know, but that's the whole reason why I walked home, so I didn't have to do that.
Go ahead.
So then once we get home, I'm already home and sitting in the living room. She comes in and it continues again. She's not trying to talk it out or anything like that. She's yelling. You know, a little pushing, I got the pizza in my hand.
Now, let's go through this slowly.
No problem.
Little pushing. How did the pushing get started?
Defense pushing. Defense pushing. You know, when she talks to you here. She don't talk to you from a distance.
So you're pushing her away from you.
Right, as I'm walking from the kitchen to the living room, back and forth. So finally I had the plate in my hand, and, she's trying to, tangle with me, and it accidentally hit her in the face.
I assume you felt very sorry when you found out she had been burned.
I drove her to the hospital the next day.
Is that right?
No. I called him when he was at work, and I said, I need to go to the hospital. And he said, well, come pick me up from work, and we can go to the hospital.
Had you stayed at your mother's that night?
Yes.
Who else lives in your mother's house?
My mom, my stepbrother, and my stepfather.
They couldn't take you to the hospital?
No, I was going to go by myself, and he said, I'll go with you, because he felt bad.
Why would you want the person who assaulted you to go with you to the hospital?
He said he would go with me.
And when you got to the hospital, what happened?
They looked at it. They said it looked really bad. They referred me to a plastic surgeon.
Did he just take you to the hospital and take you back to your mother's house?
I was driving, so I took him back to his house. We went and got the prescription filled.
So first you went and got the prescription filled?
Yes.
And then you drove him back to his house?
Mm-hmm.
What happened when you got back to your house?
Nothing. Everything was ordinary. It was just an ordinary day, watching TV, hanging out.
The two of you?
Yeah, making plans for the weekend.
What plans were you making for the weekend, Amy?
We weren't making plans for the weekend.
What were you doing that afternoon?
We were just talking, and he was telling me how sorry he was and that he would pay my bill for me, my hospital bill.
That takes 2 seconds. How long were you there?
Probably like an hour, 2 hours, not even.
She was there all day. Because I remember, because she had to put the ointment in my bathroom, and she had to put it on. So she even slept over.
She did?
Right. She had to put the ointment on at my house and get salt water and pour it on the burn, things like that. And she did that all at my house.
Amy, do you have any unreimbursed medical bills?
I have my medical bill right here.
How much was the medical bill?
$377.38.
How much do you owe on it?
The full amount. I haven't paid it because he said he was going to pay it.
Well, I think he should pay it. But you're suing him for $5,000.
Pain and suffering. Every time I look at I'm going to need plastic surgery. I haven't even went to the plastic surgeon and even got an amount estimated.
Well, then I can't help you with that, my dear. I can't help you with something that is speculative. What I don't understand is, if someone is frightened that someone is abusive and assaultive, they don't call them the next day to go to the hospital. They don't have them take them for the prescription when they have a sister and a mother and a stepfather and a brother and alternatives. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand that.
Good.
I was just calling him to tell him that I needed to go to the hospital, how severe it really was. That's the only reason why I called him, and he said, I'll go with you.
You don't call.
And
the only call you make is to the police. Did you do that?
No, because he has a son. I didn't want anything to happen.
Amy, he's going to pay your medical bill. You have a $377 medical bill. Your pain and suffering you're going to have to live with. I assume that you're not together anymore. Is that right?
Not at all.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $377. That's all.
Bodies are excused. You may step out.
Obviously, yeah, he did push me into a tree.
Oh, that's not true.
I didn't fall into a tree.
She was drunk.
I wasn't drunk. 2 beers, come on.
Slipped and fell, I guess.
You don't hurt the people that you love.
Eat pizza, don't throw it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Youngman versus Caffey. Step forward, please.
22-year-old emergency medical technician Thomas Youngman is suing his ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old bank teller Jacqueline Caffey, for the balance on a car and bank overdraft fees. Jacqueline claims Thomas paid off the car note without consulting her.
Mr. Youngman, Miss Caffey was your girlfriend for a while, and in 2003, according to your complaint, you were foolish enough to co-sign for a car loan for her.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you co-signed for the loan, it was her car. The car was titled in your name, is that right?
Yes.
And she agreed to make the payments on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And she did make the payments on the car until when?
Until the car got totaled. There was one last payment to make after the insurance paid it off.
And how much was that one last payment?
$550.
Your complaint is that Ms. Caffrey decided not to make the last payment. You had already broken up at this point. And
Correct.
how long had you been apart?
We'd been apart for almost a year and a month.
And you knew nothing about the car because it was her car and she was making the payments.
Correct.
After she totaled the car and stopped making the payments, they came after you because you were the co-signer on the car, and they took the money out of your bank account. How much did they take out?
$550.20 cents.
Then can you explain why you're suing her for $2,000?
Because there were some late fees acquired with that, in the negative balance fees.
And how much were the negative balance fees?
$100.
Anything else?
My credit was damaged, so I figured the rest of it could be for that.
Okay. Now, Ms. Caffrey, you say you've paid enough, and he co-signed for the car, and therefore it was his responsibility. I'd like you to explain that to me.
He co-signed for it. I have the proof of it.
No, there's no question. He co-signed for it.
He co-signed for a car loan, and I made every single payment. This was a $13,000 loan, and he paid $500, in late fees, $650. And he drove the car, too, when we were together.
You mean in 2003?
Yes.
So what you're saying is he drove the car in 2003, and therefore it was his responsibility to make the last payment.
I don't owe him anything. He paid.
Would you do me a favor and answer my question?
Yes.
I'll decide whether you owe him something or not. I'm trying to figure out your defense. Tell me what your defense is.
I do not owe him because he...
That's a conclusion. That's a legal conclusion, that you do not owe him. So far, we have the following set of facts stipulated. He agreed to co-sign a loan on your promise that you would make the payments on the car. That fact is buttressed by the fact that you did, in fact, make payments on the car consistently, even after the two of you were no longer together. You made the payments on the car consistently, which supports his statement that you promised to make the payments until you totaled the car. Then you stopped. There was still a payment owing, $550. Now, I'd like your defense as to why you do not owe that $550.
I had called the bank over and over and tried to figure out how much I owed, and by the time I figured out how much was owed, because they kept telling me different numbers of how much was owed, and then she said, well, just hold off on the payment and we'll get back to you on it. So when I finally got the letter in the mail that I owed $550, he had already paid it. I didn't ask him to pay it. He had already chosen himself to go ahead and pay it.
They took it out of his bank account.
That's not what... When I asked her and he told me that they froze his account, that never happened.
I want to tell you something. Mr. Youngman?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to get your money.
Okay.
You are also a very, very fortunate man. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Really lucky. You could have been married to this warped thinking, allowed children to reproduce with this warped thinking. So I want you to consider yourself very lucky. Okay?
Thank you.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $650. That's